The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of City World Media, LLC, or its affiliates. All shows are produced with full participant consent. City World Media does not claim ownership of any third-party music featured and uses all tracks only with proper permissions or licenses granted by their respective rights holders. City World Media operates in accordance with fair use and digital broadcast guidelines on all platforms. From my city to your world, we are City World. Thank you for watching.
All right. How we doing? You there? All right. All right. Continuing on. His following is here. You guys know him. All right. He's representing Cuyahoga Falls. Yeah, he's a local boy. From the North Olmsted store, the Guitar Center store in North Olmsted. Let's see, he's 29 years old. He's been DJing and spinning for 11 years. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for DJ DMAN!
Welcome to Guitar Center. I rap center. Welcome to my center. Let me feel it deep in their placenta. Cold as the pole in the winter. Far from the inventor.
Woke up this morning. You got yourself.
Syncopation.
So take a minute now to hear me.
Put it in reverse.
What? Get right, just hold it. Break it down like this.
Break.
Dog child.
go. Show them some love. We'll be right back with more of Guitar Center's DJ Spin-Off 2000.
We won't be back with more Guitar Center, but we will be back right now. Welcome in, everyone. It is B-Boys Underground. Happy B-Boys Thursday, y'all. Much love to everybody tuned in live and everybody on the replay. It's just so you know, we do this every single Wednesday night, but also we are continuing with our DJ series. And tonight, I will let you know that this brother, this DJ, this individual, this man is someone that I look up to on Twitch. He absolutely by far runs one of the best, if not the best, raid train fundraising organizations on Twitch that I've ever seen. And it is also one of the easiest and best well-ran breast cancer organizations that I've ever seen. I'm a cancer survivor. I lost one of my grandmothers to breast cancer, and my other grandmother died of cancer, but she beat breast cancer twice. It is something that impacts everybody in my family. So anybody that takes time out to do anything with a cause, and especially as well ran as it is and as professional as it is, and he is by far an impeccable DJ, an outstanding individual, and someone that this Twitch, YouTube streaming, virtual reality and insanity journey that we are all on and have been on since the vid. This is someone that it's been an honor and a privilege to meet. And without further ado, man, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only DJ DMAN, man. How are you, fam?
I'm looking around, figure out who you talking about. I know you ain't talking about me.
I'm talking about you, Cleveland's own. Cleveland's own, stand up. I'm sorry,
yes,
I had to flex. You know what I mean?
Good.
I had Cleveland, so you know I had to represent. I just was like, we gonna bleed it. We gonna bleed it out.
Why not? Why not? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad. You rep your city, so
and you rep yours too. So I mean, much love to you, family, and you know, welcome in. Salute to everybody that's here live. And
yeah, big up to the chat.
Yeah, big up to the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in live. We see you guys. We are going to be talking. If you do have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. If we don't automatically get to them, do know that we and I am starring and keeping track of them, and we will be getting to them when we can organically get to them. So, yes. What I wanted to say is like normally tell us about exactly what it was that we opened the show up with. Let everybody know what that was, fam. I mean, I know they said it, but like tell them the whole situation, because that was the finals.
Yeah, so I look at that routine and I'm just like, that was the Guitar Center National Finals. Actually, I made to 2 National Finals that year. It was the Guitar Center and then Cool Mix. Mm-hmm. I don't know if do they make cool cigarettes anymore? I don't know if they do or not, but
I haven't smoked since 2011, and I didn't ever smoke cools, thank God. But we had the Cool Jazz Festival in Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they put on a DJ battle. So I made the 2 National Finals that year. It was the Cool Mix and then Guitar Center spinoff. And that year, it just happened to be in Cleveland, and I'm like, great. I mean, I love traveling, but I get to sleep in my own bed, you know, before the finals. And I want to say it was probably like 10 DJs from around the country that made it, and then the winner that went over to the UK to battle in the quote unquote the World Finals.
Okay.
And actually, my man DJ Lynn Swan from Detroit, he actually won, and he went out there. But that was legit probably the hottest day in Cleveland that year. And I'm like, we're setting up, we're practicing, and during practicing, I'm legit. I mean, you can actually see it in the video. My records are starting to warp, And I'm
Yeah, I
"Oh,
saw
this is not
that, and I
good."
even saw like it was so hot, the slip mat was sticking like the
Sticking.
plastic
Yes.
underneath it because that's the
Oh,
trick. You always have plastic, and it
yeah.
looked like the plastic was completely melted to the platter almost.
Yeah,
It was
basically that was gripping, and then it was not the opening, and I'm like, it's supposed to say welcome to Guitar Center, Guitar Center, Guitar Center, kind of big up Guitar Center,
Yeah.
and DJ Swamp was actually one of the DJs or one of the judges, and I'm just like, okay, this is not
shoot.
gonna this is not working well in my intro, but then
Yeah.
I got into it, and as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, okay. I hit some points where I need to hit, but it was a great competition. Everyone has some issues, and I think Lynn had probably the least amount of issues, and that's why he made it through. But he is a dope DJ. But it was great because that was my first national finals, and it just kind of I had a really hot routine for that one and the cool mix, and it just I was ready for it, and and I wasn't nervous. It was like I was once music starts playing, I just lose focus and just I'm like. I don't care if it's 1 million people or one person out there, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, and it's just that if it wasn't so hot, I might would have had a better chance at moving on. But yeah, it was definitely a memorable contest. And we also too was also special about that was that we opened up for Run DMC and Busta Rhymes,
Oh yeah,
So-
man! Wow.
and that was the year, the summer before JMJ got killed. So I got a chance to meet him before him passing away.
What was that
And,
like?
I told him, I was like, thank you for making me spend all that money to buy all these records, because if it wasn't for you, I would not. He's one of the reasons why I'm a DJ.
Okay.
And from from the scratches on Peter Piper, and it's like, and that's a whole nother story there. We can get to that a little bit later, but
Yes, sir.
it's I had to give him his flowers. Like, yeah, you're the reason why. Probably all of us are up here on stage, but I can tell you right now, to your face, thank you for making a difference in my life and making me pursue this journey called DJing. And he was just so gracious that it was like, oh man, da, da, da. I'm like, dude, for real, like you have no idea how you're on my Mount Rushmore, like it's amazing. So
I
and
mean,
Run DMC, yeah, and they were dope, and
Jam
Run DMC
Master
were dope
Jay.
too. But yeah, that's Jam Master Jay. And then my wife and I, but we definitely were married at that point. My wife and I, we were, I had to go get something to drink, and she, we came back, and Buster was coming towards us. So I wanted to big him up, but Buster's a big guy. I mean, I was skinny Buster, but he's still a pretty tall guy.
no, he's a big cat.
But
like,
he's a big guy.
Tall. Like
Yeah.
I'm 6'3", and like he was
Right there, yeah.
right there, if not
And
taller
you
than me.
you
With
add the dreads
boots
on there, it's like,
and the dreads, and
yeah. So I was gonna big him up, but he had like this evil scowl on, like someone just pissed him off. And I looked at my wife, and she was like, I ain't saying nothing to him. Well, he might be nicer to you if you say something to him than me, because and he just kind of head nod and walk by, and I'm like, man, that was a crazy interaction. Just him just scowling and then but yeah, it was a great overall day. Once again, getting a chance to head nod to Buster and meet Run DMC and Jay, and then of course, like I said, with his passing, it just made that day even more special. Like, wow, I at least got a chance to meet one of my idols.
Yeah.
And give him his flowers. So yeah.
wow, that's dope. That's real dope. And I mean, rest in peace to Jam Master Jay, man. And
Yeah.
it's just sad. They just recently made advances in the trial, right? They have
I heard. Last I heard, I'm not sure. Obviously, didn't pin it on anyone yet, but I think they have a more, I won't say concrete, but a suspect that's looking toward, like, yeah, this probably the person who did it. So yeah, I'm not sure how solid that is. So yeah.
Yo, and we got Big Door, we got Midget Mike, we got Lisa the X, C Love.
Those are my mods right there. See Love 702 and Lisa the X. Big up to my mods there. Make sure you support
Follow
them.
those
Everyone in
on
the chat,
Twitch.
follow them, please.
Yes, follow the mods. Mod love it up. Put them hearts in the chat. And Big Door was our guest last night on B-Boys Underground. And he has a long history. That's a great episode, man. He's produced a song for not for Busta Rhymes, I'm sorry, for Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh, wow.
He has
Just
a
as
good
impressive.
Busta Rhymes story. I mean, like he's got tremendous amount of stories, and he also was someone that we worked with record pools because
Okay.
G Fresh and Mr. Dibbs
Mhm.
has and had Third Finger Record Pool,
Right.
and I was the assistant director back then, so I was the guy that had to make the phone calls and get through and get these damn records sent to the pool and get served. Like, so yeah, I was all he was one of the cats. I was like, we traded some war stories, but so
Yeah.
that was a fun interview. Check that out. You can check
Okay.
all of our previous interviews out on B-Boys Underground on YouTube for all my Twitcheteers. Much love to you guys. Check out everything. I mean, we've had Cujo Goody this year. We had Be Real this year.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was dope. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
We've had the Miz multiple times, of course. If we're talking about DJs, one of my favorite DJs and Big Brother C minus, as well as countless other folks, man. So tapped in. Of course, Jazzo, the originator. So salute to Jazzo.
Yeah. You moving, man. You building here, man. I love it.
We're trying to, man. We're getting it. We're not trying. We're doing, and I love it. And it's because of actually having opportunities. Because of cats like you that gave me an opportunity to stream on your raids and and be a part of Beats for a Cure.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That right there. I mean, it's. I pick people for different reasons, and I don't pick people for different reasons. And one, besides you being Ohio, from the state, you're a dope DJ. And it's like I love what you do.
Wow.
And it's like I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
I
gotta have you on. So trust and believe. Like I may not chat a lot in people's things, but I kind of come in and come out and just kind of catch the vibe and hear what's on there. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta get Ghost on here. So let me put him on here because you've been on there for what, 3 years?
No, I actually started. So at the end of 2020. So. It was November 2020, like the second week of 2020. I had just had my kidney out, and I was over 450 pounds, and I figured out I sold a couple of boom booms to get a new Mark scratch and grab a phase system and grab my original 1200s that I never got rid of. I had a couple pairs of 1200s, but my very first that I had to work my tail off to get, and it was from a pawn shop. I got 2 for 400, right? And they all had, well, there's a reason why is they still got ground problems, and I've even had them redone, but they're kind of whatever, but they're mine, and I kept them clean, and I did never throw them away. So I got the phase, I got the new Mark scratch, and I set up my phone and was DJing from an iMac, right? And that was what I figured. Like music was where it got me from my lowest, and to where we are now. So but no, you saying you compliment me on DJ because I still have very limited feeling in my hands. So I had to teach myself how to DJ, one, because I was a vinyl DJ and had never touched a computer. And then also I had no feeling in my fingertips and hands. So I do it all by pressure and everything like that. So, and also like, I can't do that much scratch. I just like blending and song selection and mixing as much as that. That's what I try to focus on is just the song selection and the pace. But I appreciate you, man.
And that's why I love DJs for different reasons. I love my technical DJs that can scratch and juggle and all that stuff. I love DJs who have a great ear. Those are probably my favorite because if you can make me stop what I'm doing and either comment in the chat or just listen and be like, okay, what is that? What artist is that? Those are the DJs I really, really love because I can just not say anything in the chat and just basically just listen to the music. And if you're a great curator,
Thank you.
I love that right there. Just that really, gets me going. I also love DJs that, at least on streaming DJs, that are entertaining, that, they're very funny, or they have, great, just this is what happened today, or this is what happened the other day. And it just happened, it can go off on a tangent and it's just hilarious or interesting. Great example. My mod, Lisa, aka the Brown Whiskey Woman, she does a whiskey show on Twitch, Brown_Whiskey_Woman, and I don't drink. But please follow her. I don't drink, and I think I know way too much about liquor than I probably should as a non-drinker. But her show is so entertaining. It's like, it draws me in. Like, wow, I just learned something about what a double barrel is. What a jigger is, certain things that I would probably never know if I didn't watch her show. So there's certain streamers and DJs that I listen to for certain reasons. So, but once again, with you, you're a great curator, and it's like what you're playing and how you're playing. I'm like, yeah.
I appreciate you, family. Thank you.
Yes.
So like what we always do about this time, I need to still say that every daggone week. Like I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Chop it up and put it in here as a sound, like we always do about this.
Just push a button. There you go.
And so I don't have to do it. But it's time for the first question of the evening. I know, even though we've talked and there's been questions, but there's one question, and it's mandatory that everyone answer it, and everyone that's been on this show has answered it, including myself. I need you, DJ DMAN, to put me in the room, channel yourself back into that environment, and put all of us in the room and tell all of us your first memory associated with hip hop and why it was so important to you, where it made such an impact that it led you to where you are today, standing right here, right now.
And see, that is actually a 3-part question, because
Yes, sir.
there's three separate things I can distinctly remember that pulled me towards hip hop. And the first one was I grew up in a family that was musically gifted. I'm the only person. My mom was a single mom. My mom and I lived with my grandparents, and of course we had the occasional uncle that would come through and stay there for like 3 nights and then be gone for like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden he comes back and it's like, all right, he's back again. He loved jazz. He was the jazz head. My grandparents were into gospel, and my mom loved 70s funk, 60s soul, and what the 80s were coming around with. And she was hip. Like she appreciated rap music. So obviously, you had Sugar Hill Gang, basically that's the main thing that was coming through the system on the radio at that point in time. And the one song that she loved, one hip hop song she loved, was Basketball by Curtis Blow. And she knew that rap backwards and forwards. And I was like, okay, if mom's hip, then I need to be hip. She can't be hipper than me. So, nah. And so we would battle in the car who knew basketball better. Like, who could spit the bars without messing up.
You were battling with your mom? That's
battling
dope.
with my mom. So it's just like, I think that early hip hop was the one thing that really, I love the music, but it was like, I was listening to soul music because that's what she mainly played. And then, of course, when I saw that she appreciated it, I'm thinking, okay, it's cool to listen to rap. She's not going to be like one of those parents like, hey, turn that off. Because I had friends that their parents would not let them listen to rap. So, but my mom was not like that. So I appreciated that, from her. Another episode, which is going to kill a lot of people in the chat that are from my OMU fam. And I saw Psalmist in here, LaDawn's in here. A few other people in there. And I remember being on the front porch, on the steps, and I had my little boom box. And my boom box I didn't have the big, dual speaker, dual cassette. I had like one speaker, one cassette radio thing, and I did some graffiti on it, and that was mine. And I remember I was listening to 93.1. That was our station. That was the only station at that point in time. We had 107 hadn't come around. I don't believe that. Well, it probably was. Maybe it was 107. Anyway, we had two
Cincinnati only had one station forever too. So
yeah, it's just I can't remember when the other one popped in. But anyway, Fly Girl from the Boogie Boys came on. And I know it's going to irk a lot of people from OMU because we have a crazy story about that at the OMU. But that came on, and that beat hit so hard. And I'm like,
Boom, boom,
God,
boom,
dun, dun, God. And I'm like, here's a fly girl, the girl. And I'm like, what is? I'm like, first I'm thinking they're talking about like a bug fly, like, you know. I'm like, why is he talking about a female fly? Like, what is? You know, I was young, I didn't know. You know, I wasn't fully hip to all the lingo.
Yeah.
But that beat really caught me. So it's funny how, like, you know, just now with OMU, it's like this is taboo song, because when we had our first OMU, this one DJ here in Cleveland was trying to impress us. I don't know why he was trying to do that or what he was thinking. And I think he like played that song for like 45 minutes straight, trying to blend other things together. And like, dude, just can we get something else, you know, played?
Wow.
So we have like this negative
I
thing
would
about
get bored as
Black
hell. Like,
Right.
I'd be like, man, I couldn't do that myself. Like, that's torture.
Right. And so that's the one, that's the running joke with the OMU Ohio Meetup crew, is that you know, Fly Girl, we you know, we don't play Fly Girl, and every once in a while I may play on my stream, and then the chat just lights up, and it's just hilarious. But that
Fly
beat
Girl
at that point in time was
PTSD.
just, yeah, that's it right there. But I just remember that, and I just like, wow, like, okay, you know, this beat is different than a lot of other beats. I think that came around like 84, 85, somewhere around that time. And so I just remember that moment. It was kind of just frozen in time. The other moment that would really solidify my hip hop, the love for hip hop, and also maybe become a DJ was Peter Piper, Run DMC.
Yes.
So I had to have heard like Sucker MCs, because that was on the first album, right? Sucker MCs and so whatnot. I'm assuming I probably heard that on the radio, but didn't know who they were, and you know, because you know, it was back then. We didn't have, you know, internet where you can just Google or Shazam or whatever.
No, it was you had to wait for it to come on, man.
And then hope the DJ said what the title was, so you knew what to look for in the store. So I was at a Christian retreat in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So it was a youth retreat. So all of us kids went up there, and we met other kids from other churches, you know, from that were in the area and came through. And we were on the bus, like basically pulling up. And one of the older kids, I think I was probably one of the youngest ones there, one of the older kids put in Run DMC, which I don't know why he brought that tape, you know, to play there, but you know, he's trying to be cool and whatnot. And I want to say Peter Piper was the first song. That was you.
That was me. I was that kid. That was me. Yeah. I was the bad influence. I was.
Yes.
I was the devil child.
But this is a good thing. Yeah. But this was a good thing. This devil child actually changed my life.
I feel you.
And I want to say it was the first song on the B-side, if I remember correctly. And it came on, and I'm like, what is that? What is that sound? Like, how's he making that? And I'm like, man, that's just hypnotizing. So the song goes off, and I'm like, hey, can you rewind that back? And he says, all right, yeah, you want it, plays it. Can you rewind that back? He's like, no, dude, we're about to get off the bus, whatever. Like, can I borrow, you know, we're in the same we're in the same, you know, building. Can I just borrow, you know, can I borrow your radio? He's like, all right, fine. Because he was trying to mac on the girls. And, you know, at that time I was still kind of young, and I was like what, 12, 13, whatever. And then, yeah, music was, you know, I love music. I always loved music. Music was a passion. And that drew me in. And I kid you not, I played that tape every opportunity I had that weekend. I probably listened to that thing probably like 150 times, easily. Just rewind it, bring it back, rewind it, bring it back. Trying to figure out how he was making that sound. Why does it sound so good? And why is it so hypnotizing? And I'm like, I need to learn more. I need to find more. And I'm like, I know it's rap because I was hearing these guys rapping on here. It's Run DMC. That's the name of the group. I need to get this tape. I need more of this. And that led me down a rabbit hole of, you know, just asking a lot of, you know, people, older kids, like people I knew that were into music, like, hey, what is this sound? What is going on here? What's going on here? What's happening with this? And eventually we got a video channel on our public station, and I got a chance to see Rocket, Herbie Hancock.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, that sounds like what this guy was doing. I'm like, so that's what it is. It's basically you're moving the turntable on the stereo back and forth. So I run upstairs to my mom's console. To my mom's
I already
console.
know.
No, no, you don't know, because how this starts is even crazier. Because I had no clue what was going on. I didn't know what was making the sound. I thought the scratching was like the gears inside the turntable. So basically, hold on. So basically, I'm doing just this with no record on there.
You were just
like, why is it not making any noise?
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear any. I thought it was, just something inside of it that was making the noise. Not understanding it was actually the music.
Gotcha.
With the needle. And then once I was like, let me, so I was watching videos, and that video came back on again. I'm watching close. I'm like, oh, the needle's on the record. So that's the noise. So then I took my mom's record, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. So, and I don't have the original, but hold on a second.
Absolutely. And why he's okay. I didn't know how far you were going away.
No, the only reason I did it because I saw it there, and I'm like, I got to show it. So
yeah,
I had this record, and I tore this record up. Now, when you know about Q burns, because I was your vinyl DJ.
Yes, sir.
This was Q, napalm. It wasn't burned anyway. It was just napalm. But Mickey Mouse Disco.
Man, oh Lord, look at that! Look at that!
So I found this recently, probably like a year ago, at a
like a sick,
ins and outs odd store.
Yeah, they always have those
Funko
dope
Pops,
ones.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw this. I'm like, I gotta did this. This takes me back. And my wife's like, why? I'm like, this was the first record that I scratched on, and it was the Macho Duck and Disco Mickey or whatever, and it was just. Oh my gosh! I just killed that record, and
I have
that's when I understood
my original copy still.
Oh, yeah. Don't ever let me in your house. You may end up coming up.
I know where it is then. There's a knife on every shelf too, so every shelf there's a knife. I can stick somebody. No, I'm just like,
you're prepared. You are prepared.
No, keep your hands off my vinyl, B. No, it's fine. No, I'm playing. That's so dope, man. Like I wish the one thing I don't have that I wish I had was my original Fisher Price record player, because I got at the age of 3. I always say, like, I started DJing at the age of 3, just because of that's when at that point my father was tired of like me playing their music nonstop, because they allowed me to look through the records and all of that stuff. But when they gifted me that, and I picked out my first couple of records. First record,
I was gonna ask, what was your first record? Yeah,
Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, double album with the 45. Isn't She Lovely? It's the first pressing, and it's the it was my mom and dad's, and because they let me pick from their albums, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the one that I got, and then they got me 2 Sesame Street albums, right?
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, I take that back. I'm sorry. Second album was the soundtrack to Grease, because we went to the drive-in at every single weekend, and Grease was always at the drive-in, and I grew up listening and watching it. It was my parents, one of their favorite movies, so yeah, I'm a Grease head, so I had to have that album as a little kid, and the other one was the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever.
Okay.
Yeah, so those were the first 3, and then some, basically, your Sesame Street and like the Star Wars and the Indiana Jones records and all of that stuff too. But
yeah.
What was your first record?
It had to been that Mickey Mouse Disco, but that wasn't.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't consider that my first record. What I consider my first record is the first record that I bought, and the first pre-recorded album I ever bought because back then it was all, you're doing pause tapes, recording off the radio, and doing stuff
Absolutely.
like that. And that's another great story. But the first pre-recorded album I ever bought was Run DMC Raising Hell because of that retreat. And then my first piece of vinyl that I bought was, I remember saying this to my friend, I'm like, I'm gonna go get a rack, buy my first record. And they were like, oh really? Like, what you gonna get? Well, you know what? I'm gonna go get Easy E, Easy Does It so he can cuss me out. Because that was just different than everything else. Like, and I remember that was my very first piece of vinyl that I bought. Now, going back, Ozzy the Mickey Mouse Disco, the Star Wars, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I had definitely have all three the soundtracks. So that was, but I didn't consider those mine because my mom bought it. So I'm like, that's still my mom's record that she lets me play, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So, or listen to. So
Gotcha. Man, those are great memories, and like just to be able to, I don't know, vinyl just is something that's, whenever I'm going through my collection and it's the ones that I played or accumulated but especially the ones that I would play nonstop at gigs and stuff, like I pick it up and it's just like I get taken back. Like there's it's like a time
nostalgia.
machine. Like
exactly. Exactly.
It's like you're a friend.
Music and the sense of smell, at least for me,
Yes, sir.
will bring me back or take me to a moment in time instantly. If I hear a song, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
There's two songs that I cannot listen to without crying.
Yeah.
And
I won't ask you to tell.
These three words by Stevie Wonder. And why am I drawing a blank on the title of the one? Yolanda Adams, Open My Heart.
Oh,
Those two I cannot get through without crying. Like no matter what. Like I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I'll be strong on this. I'll be strong. Like, no.
So what you're saying is you've cried at a lot of weddings because these three words is like a wedding song.
No, they haven't played it recently, so I haven't. I think is that one. Both
That's
of them
an old
really.
school one.
It's an old school song that I definitely heard, and it didn't make me cry when I was younger. It's more since my mom's passed, because I can't tell her I love her anymore, and it just makes me think like, and it's funny because I said this at the last Beats for Cure Live, like, and I was mentioning like, I wish I might, say I love to my mom one more time. And then Bizon, because he was one of my guests there, he said, that's a lie, D. No, you don't. And I'm like, and for a minute, I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, no, because you'll want one more after that, and another one after that, and another one after that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's there. I can't just say I love you one more time. I can't hug you one more time. I need to hug you multiple times forever. And so I think it's more because of that. That's why it hits me more now. And then just Yolanda Adams is just that one hit me when my mom was still alive, but it's just that song, just the content of that song, it catches me, and it's like, I just, one of those things. But yeah, music's always been that, it takes you to different spaces, and like I said, the sense of smell. If I smell like a cigar, like a legit stogie, I am now 5 years old at my great grandfather's knee, and messing with him because he's smoking his stogie, and that smell takes me back to that point in time in my life. So yes, music and smell for me transports me.
That's dope,
Absolutely.
man. And that I can absolutely 100% relate, because I tell my kids, and I try to explain even to a lot of people, that every single memory that I have is associated, good or bad, bad and horrible. There's a song associated with, and there's a joke on the stream, and everybody that follows me on my community, they know that I have, and even like on my no song request thing, it says no ABBA, and there's a reason for that. Like I will never ever play ABBA, because you ain't never been beat to the inch of life to ABBA.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like, man,
Wow.
like ain't no ABBA going on. Like,
Note to self.
Note to self: never ask Boogie. Like I've been at places and they were like, "Do you no? Do you even have no? Can you get no?
No.
No? I got 100. No.
It's a trigger song. Like, nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, I feel you on that, man. And that's dope. So like when you were making pause tapes and when did you start, at what age did you realize that you wanted to be a DJ? Because for me, I grew up, of course, watching WKRP in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, and I wanted to be Dr. Donnie Fever and Venus Flytrap all in the same, because they were both so cool and like, man. So that was always like, we would pass the building that was the exterior where the quote unquote building was, because they only shot the exteriors like one day and everything else was in LA. But the building where it was that, we would go past it every day, and my dad would be like, so I'd always stare up there thinking that Les Nesmond and
they're all up there.
We're all up there and stuff working. But anyway, that was for me when, like even back that early, I was like, man, I wanted to be a DJ. And what about for you?
So it was more the music initially. So I always say that before I cared about toys, girls, anything else in my life, music was my first love, and it always will be my first love, because my mom used to play music, while she was pregnant. She'd put the headphones on her belly, and she would tell me that, and then just play, Marvin and Stevie and all that. And I just, I love music. Music is life for me.
Yes.
And so when I got my boombox, I really couldn't. I mean, I was basically, just basically recording songs off the radio, and then that was it. My neighbor had the dual cassette boombox.
Okay.
And
man,
I would go over there and he showed me that. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, and he showed me how to dub. Like basically if you want to record, because he knew I had the Run DMC tape and some other tapes, UTFO and whatnot. So he wanted to record them, dub them. I'm like, yeah, you can record from here to here and do that. I'm like, okay. And like, can you do other stuff with that? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm a type of person that I would try to, and this may sound crazy, I would try to break something to know how far I can go, and know like, okay, I can't do that because I'm about to break this. It's close to breaking. So let me pull back a little bit. If you watch the routine that I did, the open video you have on there, there are some things I'm doing that I don't know how many other DJs you probably have seen do. Like for example, the needle on the middle of the
I was
the
when
label.
You put on the label, and then you put the cartridge up against the platter, and
platter
like
dots. Yeah,
I was just like, wait,
I just try to do stuff that's totally different,
which was dope because that's what Swamp does too. You did it for Swamp there, and I wanted to ask you, because you break that up, and that's the reason why I'm sorry to interrupt. I wanted to ask you that question. With you doing that and Swamp being there and he being someone who I see catch turntables on fire,
break records and play on
craziness.
You
know what I mean? Like, so what did he have anything to say? Like, or did he have any feedback for you, or what was his feedback for you?
The feedback basically was, I said, I think I talked to him, because he's from Cleveland, so I was like, hey, I'm like, yeah, my routine sucked. He's like, no, it was dope. He's like, I like your creativity. I just need to clean up on a few things. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's just weather and just whatever. No excuses, but definitely, I'll clean stuff up. But he loved my creativity with what I did with the label and then the cartridge as well. I've done some stuff with feedback where I've taken the cartridge off and you can touch the wires and get a nice little bass sound with it, and and play around with that with the EQ, and so you can kind of play tones with it. So I try to do something different.
Wow.
So I try to push the
You're not lying when you're trying to break it. So you were
it's just
were trying to break it.
Just really trying to do things that that were just different, or I'll see someone do something like, okay, I like that, but can we do it like this or do this with it? So when he was saying that, you can record, I'm thinking, well, what if I just record this one thing and then rewind it back and then record it again right afterwards. Will that loop it? So then I did that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just made a beat. It's like I was, did a little loop beat. And then we would be there for hours just going through different songs, again, different snippets of different vocals and beats and just putting together. And, I was not perfectly on beat because I couldn't do any pitch control, but it made sense. It was coherent. It basically told a story in a way. And so even though I wasn't a DJ, but I was DJing at that point in time, I was basically making a mixtape.
Yes, sir.
Not really knowing that's what I was doing. It was just fun and it sounded cool, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But probably the first time I really wanted to be a DJ, once again, going back to Peter Piper, but then also too, and I know my timeline might be kind of off, but I can't remember the dates and exactly when it was what, but I was taking Taekwondo classes as a kid, and I know it's going to sound sketchy as hell, but we had an overnight sleepover at the facility.
Okay.
And I saw two movies that definitely changed my life. One was Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, and we watched that at the facility. And he says, "Okay, we're now ready to go to a drive-in and watch this other movie." So I want to say it's like 25 kids, that were there. So we hop in this basically, sketchy van in the back, and has no windows on it, obviously. And he says, "Listen, I need all y'all just to duck down underneath these covers. I need like 2 kids up front." Basically, he didn't want to pay for all of us. He didn't want to pay for all of us.
I already know.
So we're ducked down underneath these things on the covers, and people giggling and kids are getting. He's like, "Shut up!" So we get through, and for those who are in Cleveland, it was Miles Drive-In. For those who are in Cleveland, they'll know the drive-in. And the feature that night was Beat Street. And when Double K said, "It's working, it's working. Part of people in the place when they haven't even hear you scream, ah, and you rock." And when he said that, I was like, I want to be a DJ. I want to do that. I want to make a chant that makes everyone else scream what I tell them to do. I want to control the crowd like how he controlled that crowd. And I think at that moment, with the combination of JMJ, it was like, okay, how do I become a DJ? I want to do this. What do I need? And that was probably the hardest part at that point in time, because I didn't know what turntables to buy. I didn't know about a mixer. I didn't know about an amplifier. I didn't know you need that to run the speeds, because my mom just had the console. You just turn on and everything did its thing.
Yeah.
So I just had to talk to just various different people that I knew had some audio knowledge. A lot of them were at church. It was funny. It's like I would talk to a lot of people at church, that people that were ran the audio there, and I'm like, well, how do you get the sound to here? Like, does it just like, no, you need this amplifier, you need this, you need that. I'm like, okay, so and like, what's this big thing with all the levers on it? So that's a mixer. You need this so I can control the microphones and the sound to the drums, the sound to this and that, and the organ. And I'm like, okay. And it's just like I picked up on that, and eventually, as music videos started coming out, and we started seeing more hip hop videos, and I started seeing, okay, they got these 2 turntables with the S arm. I'm like, okay, I need to get an S arm turntable with that. Okay, they got this thing, and they have a mixer, but it looks different than the one at the church. So I gotta get the smaller mixer. So then I make a trip to Radio Shack, and of course, I don't know if you're a DJ from, old school DJ. I think every DJ's been to Radio Shack. And
Rat Shack. That's what I called it. Rat Shack. That's what my dad called it.
But that's what I mean. That was the spot. That was the place. There was
realistic,
no
baby.
The realistic mixer. I had the original one. The first one I got was the one without the crossfader, because it was cheaper. Mm-hmm. Then I realized, I'm like, crap, I need the crossfader, because now I see the other DJs have that going back and forth. So I ended up taking, I think I either returned it or I sold it and got the one with the crossfader on there. I'm like, okay, now I got it. And then I'm like, why my scratches not sounding crispy? Then realized that I had to use the line phono switch to get them, really, and it's just like, I learned on the fly. But once again, this is why I love my mom. She supported me in anything, whatever I did. And she says, as long as you put the effort into it, I'll help you get wherever you need to get. She didn't help me financially because, once again, being a single parent, she had to take care of stuff. So I, did jobs, worked and whatnot, saved up my own money. But she drove me to pawn shops. And so here I am, I'm dragging my mom to various different pawn shops in Cleveland and buying, one turntable here, another turntable here, amplifier here, these big speakers here, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I understood, like, okay, I need turntables that have pitch control that can slow and speed the records up so I can beat match. And so I think the first set I had to take back because I'm like, okay, they don't have that. It was legit learning on the fly of like, okay, this is not the right equipment. I need this, but this is not the best equipment, but it gets the job done. Mm-hmm. And I just remember writing down, as my record collection started building, I would write down, okay, -3 on this one, +5 on this one. These two go together. And but how I first learned how to blend was actually one of my friends. First time I ever DJ'd. I'm like this every time. First time touching a turntable after seeing Beat Street and whatnot. One of my friend lived in our neighborhood and was a DJ, so he let me in. I was like, listen, I want to be a DJ, And he was one of the ones that really helped me out as far as what to get as far as equipment. Mm-hmm. And the very first blend I ever did, and I still do it on Twitch every once in a while, is NWA Express Yourself mixed with I'll Be Sure, Uda's Love Is So. And it's like, you think, why am I mixing these two songs together? But his whole point was so I could hear which one was faster, which one was slower, and how to speed up and slow down. Because the beats are just so radically different. One's a finger snap and one's that hard snare. And that's how I learned to blend. So once I understood that, and I caught on pretty quick. Well, this one's faster, slow it down. This one's slower, speed it up. It just common sense. 1 + 1 = 2. And
yes.
So when I had my turntables, I started marking down mixes as far as so I knew that that they work, and I just kept practicing them over and over and over again. So I got to the point where I'm like, well, I don't really need that because I can just know this one's slower, speed it up, and just do it on the fly. But it had mismatching stuff. So it was just like, it was more difficult, and they were belt driven. Yeah. So I think that made me a better DJ because when I had to compensate for that. And for those who understand the difference between belt driven, like these right here are all direct drive. So basically the motor's right with the spindle is,
Midget Mike said it earlier when you were talking about it. Wasted his money first on a stupid rubber belt drive, then realized had to get money on a direct drive and get better equipment.
That is it. But you buy what you can afford.
Yeah, you saw those ads. And what Like remember those ads? You get like 2 turntables and a mixer for X amount of dollars, and it'd be like the 2 Gemini belt-driven joints.
It's janky.
Yeah,
it's just like, nah, that's not gonna work. So but the belt-driven basically you have a motor here and a belt and attached to the spindle, but the torque is way less than the direct drive. So when you're scratching or trying to cue in a song, it basically goes run, and versus the direct drive, you let go and it's boom right on the beat. And so so for those who understand, that's the main difference. And so that's why, like Mike said, like, you had to step up. Like, I got to upgrade to direct drive. But the cool thing for me, and the very fortunate thing for me, and I say this with pride, but I also say this like humbly as well, is that besides that first round of equipment, the amp, speakers, turntables, mixer, that was probably the only equipment I ever bought.
Okay.
Like all this right here, I won. Like these 12 I've won. This mixer, I won in a raffle.
I was gonna say you won an S11, but you won an S11
I won this in a raffle, so I still count that as a win.
I want one of those so bad.
but you mentioned but you mentioned something earlier. You mentioned about the new Mark Scratch. I did buy that because actually, ironically,
it broke. I went through 3 of them, family. Man,
this right here is my original battle axe right here.
I had my original Vestex Pro 05. Is that an 05, 06? What is that?
05. I originally had the 06 because the battles we had in here in Cleveland, you could bring your own mixer. And so I got the 06 because it was tighter. But then every other battle I went into, like the DMC, the Guitar Center, they all used the 05. So I had to like space my turntables apart with this big giant gap in between it so I can compensate, the muscle memory as far as how far to go. And I was like, so I did buy the 06, and then I won that in a battle as well. So I'm like, great, I don't have to worry about buying one. I can sell this 06, and now I got this 05, and I'm good. But the first time I DJ'd on Twitch in 2020, I used this. I still had this, and because I retired. I was done with DJing. I retired in 2010 because I was just sick of what the radio was playing, what they were asking for in the clubs. They wanted to hear the same song 15 times.
05, 06,
yeah, it just,
when I got married.
It just the love of DJing was gone. And I'm like I don't want to do this anymore. And fortunate or unfortunate, however you want to look at it, 2 clubs I was DJing at the time, one lost their liquor license because I think underage drinking or something like that. And then they ended up shutting down. And the other one, the owner, which I'm thank God, there was two of us DJs that worked there, and the one DJ told me to get my records out because I was gonna DJ the next night. He said, "Take your records home." I'm like, "Why? I'm coming back tomorrow to spin." He says, "No, take your records home." I'm like, "Okay, fine." I mean, I think maybe another DJ's gonna be coming in, didn't want to steal my records. Took my records home. Wake up the next morning, Double Time is burnt down. I'm like, what?
Oh, snap.
And I'm like, really? And then, so the owner, at least from my standpoint, burnt the club down for insurance money. So, yeah. But the DJ told me, I guess he told that DJ, and the other DJ told me, like, yeah, get your stuff out of here because but he didn't tell me why, but.
Fire!
Yeah. It's crazy. So, but at that point, I'm like, okay, so the 2 clubs I'm in are gone. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done spinning. And so when shout out to DJ Relly Rail, he brought me back because he started DJing on Twitch. And he's like, yeah, you need to come on Twitch and DJ. I'm like, dude, I'm not DJing anymore. He's like, no, it's a great community. Blah 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 blah. He just like hyped it up. I'm like, all right. So my first stream, I had these 12s, my 05, the SL3, which is for those that's basically the interface to go from analog to digital.
Yep.
And I had my phone, and that's how I was streaming. And and I had no clue about these buttons and all this stuff. I would hear mixes on the radio like, wow, these DJs are really doing some post-production in their 60, their 5-minute or 15-minute mix thing. I'm like, these After Effects and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I guess that's what they do. So why not jazz it up? Not realizing they're doing that stuff on the fly with all these, the paddles, buttons, and effects that are, built in. So when I came on Twitch and I saw these mixers that were just lighting up, looking like, Star Wars characters, I'm like,
right,
what is this? And I'm like, all right, well, okay, we got the Rain, we got the S9, okay, all right, well, maybe I might get one. $2,000? What? No.
Yeah.
You must be joking. Like,
people don't realize that. That's why don't ask a DJ to DJ your party for $50 and a plate or drink tickets or $100 or what. Come on, fam. Come on.
No. Each one of these turntables, when I won them, I think they were maybe like $600 at the time.
Yes, sir.
Now they're what, like $1,200 a piece?
At least the entry level, they're entry level ones, right? Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So yeah,
and then they have the special edition ones on top of it, which are like $5,000, $6,000 a piece that they want.
Exactly. Yeah,
crazy.
It's bananas. The price of all this stuff now, and so when you mentioned about the Newmark Scratch, I was like, okay, I need to upgrade from this. So I did buy the Newmark Scratch, and I will tell you that if you're a beginning DJ or DJ on a budget, that mixer is dope.
Yes.
That crossfader is fire. You got basically everything on here you need. You don't have as many buttons, but you have the paddles, the effects, you have the EQ, the low and high pass filter. Actually, I did a review on YouTube about it. Like the Newmark Scratch is actually a pretty dope mixer.
Because be gentle with it because it breaks.
It breaks. The only thing I didn't
went
like
through 3 of them.
Really, only thing I didn't like about it was the mic. For some reason, I had to turn the mic all the way up.
Yeah, the game.
It was the game. It was like really
I
weird.
always
with that.
went out directly to my
To
mixing
the
board.
mixer, yeah.
Yeah.
That's you have to do that on that one because the
Yeah.
gain on that mic is kind of
Garbage.
crazy. But the reason why I say it's a great mixer for basically a lot of DJs is because a lot of DJs don't use everything that's in this S11. That it drives me crazy. Like I am, and my fam will know, I am a manual reader. I love reading manuals. Like I remember I did that as a kid. When I was a kid, my mom would buy me an Atari cartridge, and I would be in the car reading the manual of like how the game, what to do when I get home by the game. And I'll even read the credits like, okay, so John Boyle was the production director on this. I don't know. I just love reading manuals. There's a thing about that with me.
My father made me do that.
But that for me, it's like that gave me the baseline. So okay, this is what I can do with it. And then going back to what I said before, let me see how far I can go before I can break it or bend it before it breaks. And so I've gone through a lot of stuff that's on this mixer that you probably won't see a lot of DJs touch, or very few DJs touch, because it's like, they're just basically playing records, hyping up the chat, whatever it is. But I'm like, this mixer is a computer. This mixer has a lot to offer, and it's like you need to go in here and actually play around with it. So for those who are not going to go through all that stuff, the Numark Scratch is perfect because it has enough in there to makes you sound like you're on a Pioneer or a Rain without the price. Because I think that is like only like what, $600, something like that.
Correct. So it's $499 at least.
$499,
yeah. And here's the biggest thing that I will say to anyone that's looking about getting into doing this and even learning Serato or any of that stuff. It comes with a free professional unlock with the actual DVS unlock as well. So that's huge because it's $30 a month for Serato. And you would think when you get a mixer that costs $2,000 or this Rev 7 that I upgraded to when my last Scratch mix, because I'm an old man and I'm trying to gig and I ain't trying to carry no 1200s anymore because
they are heavy.
Yeah, but I carried around a bar height, full like leaf dining room table, like heavy, like
wow,
like just because I don't, you know how it is. You
need
heavy stuff, and I can't bend like hunch over. I want stuff so
higher.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Mama Boogie, for investing in the business. But you would think that those things come with a free unlock, but they don't.
No.
So what's even doper about the Numark Scratch, which is you want to get your hands on one now because it's no longer supported by the most updated versions of Serato, but you still will be able to go back into the previous versions of Serato. So you won't be able to go up to 4, but it'll take you
stems,
all the way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it'll give you stems.
You can do stems in there? Okay.
Yes,
I lost it before that. I got it before that. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You basically remap like the loop or the roll into stems, right?
So same thing as this. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And basically everybody, if you're looking to get into it, absolutely.
I agree.
Numark Scratch is I was always a Numark fan as well because Numark back in the day is a different company. They've been absorbed, and the people that Numark is owned by Rain, Denon, Numark. So they have 3 tiers, you know what I mean?
Right.
They have the Denon line, the Rain line, and Numark. And
boom. No, I co-sign that because like I said, it's a great entry mixer into all of this. And at that point in time, you can decide like, okay, I'm really feeling this. I'm liking what I'm doing. Okay, now I need to upgrade. And then at that point, if you have the money, you're doing the stuff, there you go.
Yeah.
But I agree. I co-sign with that right there for sure. Now, another thing, once again, I gotta say this. I've never paid for Serato. And the reason being is because, I don't know if I have it here. No, I don't have it here. I had a flood down here, and there's a lot of stuff that's not where it normally is at. I'm slowly getting my house, basement back together.
Man,
but
I salute to you. That's horrible. I know what that's like.
I legit, we got home just in time before it was creeping over here, and I got home.
Are
just
you
in time.
kidding me?
Yeah, and I got this stuff covered, got out, out of here. So this was never affected. A pair of my JBL speakers got messed up. That was the only DJ equipment that got messed up. Everything else was saved. But in a DJ battle, I won Final Scratch. So for those who don't know Final Scratch is, that's basically Serato 1.0. Okay. Now
you
here's
got
the
a
thing.
free unlock all the way through.
I had it all. I've never paid for it. So here's the thing. I had that for a year before I opened up that box, because I'm reading it and it's like digital waves. You need a computer. I'm like, why would I lug a computer to a gig? And of course I'm thinking like, Tower.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, plus I got this stuff on vinyl already. Like, why do I'm good. I did not open that box for a year until I saw it. I think I was probably one of the first DJs in Northeast Ohio that had that and never used it. And like a year afterwards, I finally saw a DJ spin with it. I saw him. He had a laptop. Of course, laptops back there were huge, but obviously it wasn't the Tower. I'm thinking, why does he have a computer with them? And then I knew the bouncer or one of the security guys. I was like, can I come up and talk to the DJ afterwards? He was like, yeah. So I came up. I was like, all right, is that the Final Scratch thing? He's like, yeah. And he showed me. I'm like, yeah, I got the interface. Blah, blah, blah. The interface looks like a little flying saucer. It's kind of cool. And then I'm like, so that's all you brought? He's like, yeah, I didn't bring any vinyl. I was like, all I need is my laptop, this and that. I'm like, holy crap, that's a game changer, because I'm so used to carrying these crates, huge crates of records to various different gigs. And it's like, that's one of the worst parts, going to a club is carrying all those records. And so I'm like, all right, let me open this up and see what this is about. And once I saw it, I'm like, holy crap, like, this is amazing. Like, that means basically it's how big my hard drive is. Of course, back then the hard drives were like maybe like 100 megabytes or something like that. I don't know what they were back then.
A grip,
but they cost a lot. But it was like it wasn't a hope. They weren't very big. But in comparison to saving my back from carrying all the records, how many songs I could put in the computer, I'm thinking,
yeah,
okay, all right. Well, let me invest in a laptop. And I started down that road. Started recording my stuff, digitizing it. Then at that point, LimeWire was like running rampant, so I was downloading everything from LimeWire, and it's like that's I think I still have 5 songs that are from LimeWire on my laptop. It's just I got a lot from there, but it's like I went from basically 1.0. I went from live scratch, Final Scratch to what was the second one?
Itch or no?
Because Final I'll tell you about it was the SL3 because Final Scratch had the little saucer spaceship thing.
Yes.
Then I bought I take that back. Then I won the SL3.
Dang.
I did have to buy some extra vinyl because
this guy over here is the champion of champions.
Now it sounds crazy, but like trust and believe, I lost more battles than I've won. I just happen to win.
It doesn't
really
matter
good
though.
I just happen to win really good ones. So,
look, fam, that's the grind, the hustle, and that shows like that right there needs the
yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I'm stunned. Like, you just straight up like, I won all of this. I was like, what? Like, this is crazy.
Like legit, like my laptop's probably the only thing I bought. Like, I bought this laptop. That's about it. But yeah, everything else you see here.
You'll win one of those next.
I wish. See how much this Mac thing costs you. I wish I could
God,
get
I need
one of those.
So yes.
But yeah, it's just like, but then I went to the SL3 and used that. And then I think at that point in time, it was Serato. And then obviously now the mixers now have the interface in there, so you don't need the external interface. So yeah, I've been on this digital thing since 1.0, and I still have it. It's like I said, it's in a box somewhere. But yeah, I still have the vinyl for all of them, and then and I still have the interfaces for all 3 of them, or 2 of them, I should say. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, do you do you find it, or like, are you a collector?
Of
Everything or equipment, vinyl. Like, are you a collector? Do you find it hard getting rid of old pieces of equipment? Like,
Yes.
I understand when it's even if it's a junk pair of speakers, it's like, man, I could figure out how to use that just in case. They still work just in a pinch if I need. Like, that's where, because coming from, having to really grind to get and build everything, it's like you don't want to, like, I didn't want to give up my first, I worked so hard just to get those first two, right? Like, no.
No, I agree. Yeah, I would say yes, because it's funny because I was going through one of the boxes from the flood and I came across a preamp for a mic, and I had another one that's better, but I have that. I'm thinking, maybe I might need, I'm like, you know what? No, I don't need this. Get rid of it. I have to say that to myself because I would hold on to that. So yes, for equipment wise, I would definitely hold on to things. I still have, unless I sold them, I still have all the mixers. I want a Craze mixer. I have that.
Wow.
I brought the crossfader. I brought the crossfader on that. That snapped. So I can't. That one probably had one that had the focus fader, had the laser fader. That was that was.
I wonder if you
game
could get that fixed or replaced.
Probably. I
probably gonna be money.
Yeah, it's just not. I got this with all this. It's good, but I have that. I still have that even with the broken fader. The other turntables that I won some Geminis. I sold those. I had another pair of 12s that were given to me by another DJ that kind of like, he saw the potential and was like, here, you can have these old ones. I don't need these. And they weren't the best, but yeah, they weren't the best, but they worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were talking about the ones you have that the ground, like basically the pitch wasn't perfect, but hey, they're direct drive. I was happy with that.
And see, the pitch is perfect on these. It's just there's either something with the tone arm or something, like, I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, it's just but once again, you still hold on to that. Those I don't have because someone was asking for them. I'm like, well, I'll sell them to you, and I'm like, yeah, a little bit less stuff I don't need. But if I can't sell it, I would definitely still hold on to it. Yeah, so I am a collector of equipment. Now, it is sad to say, and it still hurts me to this day, that I had to sell my record collection.
Okay.
We were moving, and there's some stuff that I can't remember exactly why, but it was like I just could not bring those thousands of records that I had to the new place, and I'm like, I got to sell these. So they went to a great home, but
did you sell it the whole collection to one person?
Yes, they went to one person. They
got it.
They were a collector. Yeah, and I knew they were taken care of.
Yep.
And I still have a few records, but not enough to rock a party, which is a few that I personally love. Like, for example, Michael Jackson Thriller. I got that. Whitney Houston. There's certain vinyl that I kept because they're classics. But when I came on Twitch and I would see DJs like you with all your records behind you, I'm like, oh my god! You
don't even know the half of.
I want my records back. So yeah, just
I have a massive amount. I have a whole basement full of records at my homie's house back in Cincinnati. Like, and God bless my mentor. He for still holding on to it, and I'm trying to get back there to Cincinnati, and it's just, yeah, man. Like, I'm trying to rent a U-Haul just the one way.
Yeah.
Like the fly, but to rent the U-Haul one way, the last time I looked, that's not even including gas. It was $1,400.
Wow. Yeah.
And I needed the big U-Haul. I needed the whole big. I needed the biggest one. Like, you know what I mean?
The 4-bedroom joint.
Yes, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, I needed a semi. But
so real quick to answer Mike's question, I don't remember the exact amount, but I remember it was definitely I could have bought a car with it. I got a good deal out of it. In the end, probably if he resold it, he could probably buy 2 cars with it or a nicer car with it. But
yeah,
it definitely was. It wasn't like for like, here it is for $5,000. Like, no, it was quite a bit more than that, but it
So-
was a lot of records. So yeah.
I have a question for you. What is the one record that, or maybe if you have like me, I can't just say one. What is the records that you wish that you actually had back if you could have snatched them out? Like hindsight being 2020. Like I wish I would have just grabbed a couple of that and that and that.
I can't say I do, because like I said, I think I did that. Like I grabbed the big records that I thought were classics out. I mean, granted that all of them are classics technically, you know, when you really look at it. But yeah, I really can't say there was one or two that. Yeah, no, I honestly, I think I grabbed what I thought I needed. It's just that it's just when I see the DJs with their records, it's just like kind of like just like badges. Like, hey, I got this, and it's like, crap, I had that, you know, but I don't have it anymore. I have it digital. I can still play it, but I don't physically have it anymore. And I guess it's a good thing, a blessing, because then once again, I would need multiple rooms in this house to store all that stuff. It's just, and then would I play all of them? No, I wouldn't. It's just I got a lot from, like, you know, you mentioned about record pools earlier. Record pools I was in, you know, I got a ton of records from there, and it's like, and I got good with the owner. So then, you know, of course, he would slide me a couple extras, like, okay, this is a new joint right here. You know, I want to get this to like 5 DJs, and you're one of them. I'm like, thank you. You know, it's like, you know, so I just had so much stuff. So it's like, if I kept having you know, collecting records, it'd just be ridiculous. My daughter's into collecting records right now. She has a guy who bought her turntable.
Yes.
She has, I don't know, probably like 50 records, something like 40, 50 records. But, you know, so when we go shopping, you know, it's just like we go to, and Stove might be able to answer this question. I can't remember the name of it. There's a record group of people that basically it's like a pop-up record store where they'll be at a Catholic church one month. Next month they'll be at a flea market. Next month they'll be at an abandoned mall or whatever. And so I would go there. So when we see when it's popping up, I'll take my daughter there so she can go through and dig through stuff. And then I may see someone I may know, like, "D, you getting back? I'm like, dude, no, I can't do it. Like, no, do not put me down that rabbit hole, because then I'll be back where I was, and I have no room for that. I'm here for my daughter. Talk to her. She'll tell you what she wants, and she has a really good ear. Like, out of all I have 3 kids. She's my youngest. She's 15.
Okay.
And out of all 3 of them, I love her ear. Like, I love her ear. I'm actually gonna have her. I was teaching her how to DJ, and she got the concept of mixing, but we've kind of lost track of that. And so I probably need to refresh her on that. But sometime during the summer, I want to have her on my stream. I'm not gonna say when. I'm just gonna just go live, and then whoever shows up, she's gonna be behind it. She's gonna be curating the stream, because I love her music. There's songs that she's played. Yeah, shout out to Maya. There's songs that I heard her play on her Spotify. I'm like, what is that? And I played it on my stream. I'm like, I gotta download that. That is a great song. It's just, yeah. I love her ear. My oldest son, he likes trap, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And then my middle kid, like, he's really secretive about his music, so I'm not sure exactly what he listens to, but it's definitely more probably alternative type stuff. But, you know, what I've heard really hadn't really impressed me. I was like, oh, that's about par what I think you would listen to. But yeah, she listens to everything. She'll go listen to from R&B to metal to bossa nova to the old school 60s, like Mr. Sandman type of music. Like, she loves that. She just loves music. I'm thinking, that's my girl. So that makes me so happy.
You know, I was explaining to my kids, I was just like, you guys just don't know how lucky you have it. And it was even something that my mentor, when I was buying my collection, like, you know, I'd just buy entire collections. That's how I got like my massive, but also like I had to have all multiple copies of the entire Isley Brother catalog. I was just buying catalogs, and he was like, you're getting to get all of this stuff at one time, like at one clip, and hear all of this, because my parents, you know, were very much, you know, we're from Ohio, and, you know, there's funk and everything. You know, my parents listened to everything, just like your mom and your parents and everything like that. Like they encouraged you to listen to music and supported you. Right. And my dad would quiz me, and do you know who this is? What song is this? What's the artist? And then I would even go further to the album, the year, all of that stuff, and like remember it, because I would stare at the records or whatever, or the tape,
read the liner notes, and
for nonstop hours, right?
And
so my mom was a big proponent of the hip hop portion of me, and also, like, you know, they started tripping when, you know, I was coming home with, you know, crates and crates and crates of records, and my room just became crates of until I got out of there. You know, it's like, what are you doing? But no, this being able to pass that on. My daughter, we've started her vinyl collection. That's the only way that I will buy any vinyl, because strictly for her, because my wife like, you better not.
You don't need anymore.
Like she wouldn't trip, but anyway, but still, like I can't do it. But like for my daughter, like hell yeah, she's starting that, and I'm teaching her how to DJ and trying to get her to really go. And also, like, I taught my kids from young age how to actually handle vinyl and put needle on record, and you know, respect, just don't grab it and paw it, like you know, to actually grab the center label and properly place a needle so it's not you know, all of that, you know what I mean? Because like I know you want to play with these, respect them.
Exactly. Good, because they see, you know, what you're doing, thinking, oh, I can do that, and it's like, wait, hold on, I've been doing this for decades, so like, trust
it's muscle memory.
Exactly. It looks
not even thinking about it.
We're making it look easy. Trust and believe. It takes time. You can't just jump on it and do it like that. So
Midget Mike had a question for you. He was like, what is the one record you scratched the shit out of and needed more copies because you tore it up?
There's two of them. One is, and I still have the two copies of it, was from my very first DJ battle, which honestly, actually, DJ Craze, before he was DJ Craze, was one of the judges. I think he had just won an ITF, and they brought him in to judge and that was the first battle I was in the Cleveland battle. And it was Ed OG, I Gotta Have It. And it says it's a, not an acapella version, but it's like a shorter edit on the B side, where it says, Black people unite and let's all get down. And because I didn't know anything about like battle DJing, I just thought like, okay, he's basically scratch and go back and forth a whole bunch of times and do a bunch of tricks. So that's what I did for 5 minutes straight, was Black people unite, let's all get down. I just went back and forth on that a bazillion times. So during practice, that was just cue burn to crap. The other one, which you guys can check out, go to my IG page, you can see me recreating it. But and my IG page is DJ DMAN 216, was Live at Union Square by DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. So Jazzy Jeff is on my Mount Rushmore as well. And
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, yeah. He should be on everybody's Mount Rushmore.
Come on, man. Don't anybody disrespect DJ Jazzy Jeff, I have to check them. Like, cause that,
exactly.
Like, I already know that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about, so I don't even want to talk to you, but I will check you. Like,
yes,
even if you're saying something about Fresh Prince and whatever, you're trying to make a point, you better leave DJ Jazzy Jeff out of that conversation. He has nothing to do with that. Exactly. He's one of the illest to ever do it, and always has been an inspiration of mine as well.
Exactly.
Beautiful person as well.
That's another side story. I've almost got a chance to meet him. I was supposed to meet him in Columbus, and I think the night before that he was sick, or no, he had a long late night. Then he was sick that night. Then it rained. We had like an hour delay, and he left before I got a chance to meet him. But out of that, I got a chance to meet Mixmaster Ice from UTFO, And he actually came and DJ'd at Beats for Cure Live last year. And
Yes.
he may come back again this year. Based on our conversation, it sounds like he might be back again this year.
That's dope. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, exactly. But the Live at Union Square, I dug into that because I would hear those transformer scratches. And I'm like, I gotta transform on what he's transforming on so I can get that same sound. I'm like, why? And that's how I learned about the line phono, because I'm like, the crossfader is just it's not as crisp. It's fading in, and that's when I started learning, like, okay, you got to use this to get that really crisp transformer sound. And so that record was Q-Born all the heck. The reason why I bring up about IG is that I was talking about Jeff, saying, hey, how dope Jeff was, and he was inspiration. Live at Union Square was one of my records that I just really loved, and just I was learning how to be a better DJ based off of that song. So I played it, and I was kind of like just mirroring the scratches on top of Jeff's scratches. And out of the blue, I think that might have been I don't know if that was probably been his first time in the chat. I don't know. Scratch Bastard comes in and says, honestly, you sounded pretty dope, but it'd be nice if I could hear it soloed. And then, of course, I'm like, Bastard, what's good? It just freaked me out because I've never had him in my chat. And I'm like, and I think we're just about to wrap up anyway. So I'm like, I'm about to and I just never finished it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do this solo by itself. So I did it solo, recorded it, put it up on IG, and he said, yeah, it's dope. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. So yeah, check out my IG on that, but that was that routine. The original one, yeah, that record was destroyed for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, that's dope. That's absolutely dope, man. Those records, that you have to continue to go over and over and over again. A big trick for you guys out there, if you don't know, and if you get records that have skips, pops, and all of that stuff, I need you to grab your favorite number 2 pencil, sharpen it to a very nice fine point, got a lot of ability to shade and rotate, find that pop. Of course, I always washed mine with Blue Dawn dish liquid because it would get the grease out. You have protect your labels, but get all of that junk out, clean all of that gunk out, and then also find those Rice Krispies and everything, and you can shade over it with a number 2 pencil. And like, even if it was unsalvageable type of skip and pop, like it was a wrap, but if it was still one that you could save a lot with a number 2 pencil by shading it in, and it would just give it. Yeah. So if you have any records where, it's a definite jump, you can get it down to like a little blip or a pop. You know what I mean? Instead of it actually skipping and jumping, and that's how I was able to like prolong. Wow. And the reason why I learned that was because, of course, my mentor. And I wanted to ask you.
Before you ask that question.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Before you ask that question. One, I didn't know that. That's brand new to me.
Okay.
That's actually amazing insight. But the only thing I would say, I probably wouldn't do that, because to me, those pops are like fingerprints.
Well, like, true.
So like you could play, let's say, Jeru Damager Come Clean, your record, and I can play my record, and I'll know that's my record, because I have those pops memorized. To me, it's that fingerprint. So for me, I mean, yeah, I skip or something like really, really bad. I like that idea. Now I want to try it on the LG record and see, like, okay, will that help clean that key burn up a little bit?
Check it out.
But those pops to me are the fingerprint of the vinyl. So yeah.
And my mentor, he taught me how to do professional sound. He was a broadcast. He taught broadcasting everything, and he just was and is still an amazing individual, and took a liking to me and from school, and of course, Carry Records then transformed into like, hey, you spin the first gig we got and all that junk. But great guy, and he taught me how to do that, and he was very meticulous about sound. And So no Rice Krispie treats. Like if we had any records with Rice Krispie treats, we're washing them, we're cleaning them, we're going over them, or we're buying or trying to find new copies of it and the old,
Right.
like, just as long as that, like we would have like 3 or 4 of the same record in a crate, because I knew, especially if it was a record that had multiple songs, but like, man, these records are kind of foobarred, so I know I got a good version of this one on this
yeah.
one and that one and
Right.
that one. So
Right.
that was kind of like even the get down as far as how some of that happened back in the day. But
Yeah.
I was meticulous. Like that's how I was programmed and trained. So he hated when, you know, back in the 90s when people started adding the record sound.
Oh yeah,
to,
yeah.
He was like, why am I paying money for something that sounds broke? Like he
Right.
got, I mean, it's just hilarious, you know, the mentality of it and the different thoughts of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But the funny thing is that I did take a record back to the record pools, and I said this record sounds horrible, and it was J. Rue. I just brought him up, but J. Rue Come Clean, and I'm like, why is it? This record sounds horrible. It's just grimy. But that's how Primo did it. Primo did it to, you know, that was his sound. But you know, that was a time, of course, that was a time when, you know, everything was sampled and clean and crisp, and then here comes J. Rue the Damager Come Clean. I'm like, this sounds horrible in the club, but I get why, you know, why
that's
you did it
why
that way.
when you get it on that large sound system and it
Yeah.
starts just
Yeah.
pop, it sounds like someone's, you know, popping off.
Right.
Someone's shooting the club up. Like,
Yeah. So that record to me didn't sound. But then when I got it back the second time, I'm like, okay, well, that's how he made it sound like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, but yeah, that's interesting. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on that, but I just wanted. Just mention that. So yeah.
because I mean, it just leads me to the question of, you know, who was your mentor and like who really was that person that helped you level up and gave you really that opportunity to shine and give you your exposure, like, and give them their flowers, because of course that had a humongous impact on where you are today, right?
Right. 3 DJs. I don't remember the first guy's name, but he was the guy who taught me how to. I did the I'll Be Sure and NWA mix. The reason why I give him his flowers is because if Maya brought some person over here and said, "Hey, can they DJ on your equipment?" I'm like, "No, you're not touching this. Like, who are you?" And for him to trust my friend, like, yeah, this guy knows music, which I didn't know music at that point. Trust to say, hey, I'm not going to tear his equipment up, to allow me and show me, and then me catching it. So Marcus, that's his name, Marcus. I'm not sure if it was DJ Marcus, but Marcus was his name. So it came to me in my mind. So shout out to Marcus, because yeah, I would not let any Joe Blow on my equipment. The second DJ, and I don't remember his name, but there was a club called Toucan Harry's. And so where I lived in Euclid, kind of like a project there, housing project area. Above there was a strip mall, and there was this club. And on Sunday nights was teen night.
Okay.
So at this point in time, I had the equipment, I had the mix match and stuff. So, but I wasn't DJing out at that point in time. I was still in a bedroom DJ at that point. But I understood mixing. You know, I got that concept. So we would go there, and once I felt comfortable, I think I mentioned to him, like, yeah, I'm learning how to DJ. Can I just check out your equipment, what you got? And of course they had 12s and all that stuff up there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just trying to figure out, where I need to go from here. And I just told him what I had, and he's like, yeah, what? I was like, yeah, I'm just in the basement, just goofing around. And he's like, all right, I want you to come to my house. And I'm like, I'm gonna kind of show you some stuff. I'm like, okay. So I lived in Euclid, which is here. He lived in East Cleveland, which is here. Basically, it's on the same street. East Cleveland is not a very good city. I mean, it used to be like Millionaire's Row. Now it's, if you YouTube or Google Eats Cleveland, and you'd be like, whoa, what happened there? It's like, yeah, it's not a great city. So I rode the bus down there. I had one of my friends come with me because I'm like, listen, if something goes down, I need you to have my back. So he came with me. And then we spent like 2 hours. He was just showing me other mixes and DJing and stuff like that. And he was letting me DJ on his equipment, kind of just testing my, my gauge as far as knowledge and skill. He's like, all right. And he was the one that gave me those 12s. So he had some 12s in the closet. He says, here, take these home and this mixer.
Wow.
And practice on this. I'm like, all right. Now, I told you how I got there, right?
Right.
The bus, RTA
Right.
bus, in a not very good city. So
Right.
here I am with my friend with 2 big trash bags of equipment on the bus heading back to Euclid.
So
And
they
we're
weren't
like,
even in cases or anything?
No,
Just,
no. It was just in trash bags.
So you just
And
had the inconspicuous trash bags. It's
Yes.
like, I got some
And
trash.
people probably wondering why they carrying trash on the bus. I'm like, please, no one mess with us because we got $1,000 equipment here, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to lose this. So luckily, we got back to my spot, hooked everything in practice, blah blah. And then probably like 2 months later, I can't. I'll come every Sunday, but like 2 months later, he called me up to the booth. He was like, my name's Darryl. He's like, Darryl, come up to the booth. I'm like, okay. So then people are looking around like, why is he calling them up here? I'm like, okay. So I'm at the booth. So now I'm feeling good. Like, yeah, I'm in the booth with the DJ. I'm looking down at everybody like, hey, what's up? What's up? Da, da, da. And they're wondering like, why is he up there? And he's like, I want you to spin for the next 15 minutes. And I'm like, all right. Okay. So I'm like, okay, what do you want me to play? He's like, all right, we'll start with this and then go to here. And then I want to see where you go from that. Go through my records. I'll let you know. And probably I'll give you a half hour because I'm spin, go through my records, see what's in there. But I want you to hit this, and then let you go for like 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, all right. I get on and I kill it. Like I hit every single mix, blend, and my friends are like, why is he up there? I didn't know he DJ'd. It's just like the crowd went crazy. And then I come down, everyone daps me up, and he took me to a couple other gigs with him, as like a backup to, basically a roadie. But then he'll let me spin for a little bit. But that Monday, after that, him let me on, I was the man at school. Like no one could tell me nothing. Like, listen, I run this school now. It's like, whatever. But it gave me the opportunity to actually now people are like, well, do you DJ? I'm like, yeah, I got stuff. So I did got a couple of birthday parties out of that. The very first party I ever DJ, I charged $25 because I didn't know what to charge. I just needed gas money. That was it. And I didn't play a record twice. Everyone danced the whole entire night. I killed it. And then I got gigs after that. And then that's when I realized like, oh, I need to be charging more than $25. But that DJ got me to a point where I may be comfortable to DJ in the club, in front of people, at parties, stuff like that. So he kind of got me to that level. The third DJ is DJ Cochise. He is a legend here in Cleveland. He actually lives in Atlanta right now.
Shout out to DJ Cochise, man.
Yes.
Wow.
When I was working at WZIP, the University of Akron's radio station, which, by the way, when people say college radio, solid college radio is pretty janky where you lose your signal once you leave the building. Our signal was competing against commercial stations. Like we had a huge antenna, and my mix show and another show, we would beat 93s, that was the other main station in Cleveland.
Nice.
Like we were killing it. Like we were pulling numbers, and they hated us. They were like, "How's this college station?" Like, nah, we doing big things down here. So at that station, one of the DJs was Cochise's one of Cochise's baby mamas. And of course, I was DJing and whatnot, and she's like, "Oh, you doing all the fraternities and sororities?" Like, yeah, I know Cochise. I'm like, all right, he's a legend. Let me meet him. So we hooked up, and then he let me come to a couple of gigs, and he just wanted to kind of see how I was spun. He was like, all right, you know what you're doing? I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. At this point, I've been DJing for a couple of years. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And he gave me, because he used to do this club called Bedrocks in Akron, which is from Akron to Cleveland is probably, 45, 50 minutes. He's like, dude, I'm sick of making this drive every Sunday. You can have it. You're already here in Akron. You're going to school here. You can have it. I trust you with this. And I'm like, cool. Gave me that one, which is the biggest club in Akron. And I had that club for like 5 years. Then they shut it down, changed it to, they called it status, and they tried to upgrade it. And people were like, we're coming in jeans and t-shirts. We're not coming in suits and ties. And when they upgraded it, they tried to hire another DJ. They figured we'll get someone else. And they're like, no, where's DMAN at? Like, we want DMAN back here. And the first night I came back, lit it up. It's DJ there for another 3 years. And then they shut it down and they changed it into a strip joint. And then that was it. I was done. But Coach Heath, who is, like I said, he's a legend. And those 3 DJs were probably the most instrumental DJs in my life to get me on, to get me comfortable playing out, to give me one of the biggest spots. And he also hooked me up with other spots here in Cleveland that were pretty big too. Millennium, this one spot called Candy's on the west side, let me spin there. He actually gave me that club too. It's just that that gave me bigger exposure, because those were like bigger joints where I was rocking like 400 or 500 people kind of spots. So yeah, that was, major. So yeah, those are the 3.
That's dope. Yeah. And I mean I pretty much had one guy that helped me get all of those things, like you said, because he got me into the club that, was Cincinnati's biggest club. And got to realize this was 35, I was 16, 17 years old, and I was DJing 35 and older, old school funk R&B. Right, at Skipper's Lounge, and it was huge.
At what age again?
16, 17 years old.
They're like, what does this kid know about this music? You just killed it.
See this? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that was the thing, because he absolutely loved it too, because he was like, just wait. Cause I was like, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I was young and I was just like, man, I don't want to. He was like, come on, man. He was like, you did. He was like, pfft. He was like, you got, I was like, man, I don't want to, man.
I know it's nerve wracking, but once again, once it takes over, you just go.
Once you had, I had someone that believed in me and was like, you better get on here and do this. And he was just like, boom, and get up there, and actually made me pump me up, and was like, and as soon as I put the headphones on and started cueing, and then started trying to catch them, all right, here we go. So I mean, that was in itself, how I got a lot of gigs, and that's how I met G-Fresh is one of our co-hosts, Matt Ways, salute to them. But when I met G-Fresh, he and Mr. Dibbs were the ones that started B-Boys Underground, and it was on a public radio station, 88.3 WAIF FM, and then of course with B-Boys Underground, that crew as well, Scribble Jam came out of it. So it's a historic thing, and we were doing numbers, and there was always a hip-hop show. And at that time, pretty much the folks that came before us with the hip-hop shows, include us, carried that torch forward for it. Right. And when everything happened and I started doing all of this stuff, and my story, I reached out to Fresh, was like, we got to start this, because I was like, I wanted to start and have a B-Boys Underground podcast, and because I missed, and I'm going to ask you this question. The hip hop community, the culture, the people, the camaraderie amongst the DJs and amongst your crowd, your regulars, and everything, the scene. I'm old and removed from you know, definitely being out in that type of environment. I've been married 20 years this year. Shout out to my amazing
Congrats.
wife, Mama Boogie. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats to Mama Boogie for making it through. We gotta give her a round of applause for making it through 20 years of my stuff. Anyway, no, but I just gonna say, like, what was it like for you in Cleveland? Because of course, you know, everybody is gonna ask, of course, Bone, and I had Excel Beats on just this past weekend, who produced for Bone and charted both Bone, and still works with them. But what was, and not even if that was even part of the scene or anything like that, but people are getting, and people have mentioned it in the chat. That's the reason why I say it. But what was it like, the community, the culture there compared to now, the scene?
Ooh. First off, I am hip hop. I am hip hop, and
Yes, sir,
I can
you
say
are.
that I can say that honestly because I've done all four elements. I rapped, horrible rapper. That was probably the worst element I could have done, but I'm like, you know what? I'm part of the community. I'm part of hip hop. I gotta learn how to rap. I gotta learn how to write some rhymes. And I used to break dance, and I was pretty decent at it. I couldn't do all the floor spins, but I was more of the up rocker, you know, I was that guy. And we would go to clubs, stuff like that, and and just do our thing. I still do graffiti. I have tagged a few walls, but now I do stuff digitally on my iPad. So I still write and still draw, and of course, obviously DJ. I would say the hip hop in Cleveland was always behind, which I didn't realize it at the time until I left out of Cleveland to go places. When I got to college and I started doing battles and going to different cities, stuff like that, and realizing how far behind we were. I remember when, oh my gosh, I'm kind of somewhat deviating here, but the club, Bedrocks I was mentioning, Method Man came there. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I love Wu. I love you guys. They don't love you yet. If you remember from the series, the Wu series, and there was a part in that series where the tape was going around and went to different radio stations and whatnot. When I saw that, I'm like, holy crap, that was me. Because I got that tape. It was 4 songs on that tape. And I was like, the first 3, they were bangers, but I wasn't feeling, like, why is this song so different? And the 4th song was Wu-Tang Nothing to F With, and I'm like, holy crap, wait a minute, I gotta re-listen to this whole tape again. And somehow I went on a reel-to-reel, edited all the cuss words out of Wu-Tang Nothing to F With, got that on the radio, and it took a while for people to appreciate that. Hip hop earlier on, when we went out, it was there. Like, it was like the vibe was there. It's just that I didn't realize how far behind we were. But at the time when I was in it, it was great. Like, it was just like, we wore the Adidas suits, we wore the Puma shoes. We looked like hip hop, and we did all the dances. We like I said, we tagged and did all the stuff. So hip hop was life for us. You mentioned about Bone. It's a funny thing is that I'm not the biggest Bone fan. I love Bone. They represent Cleveland. I love that. Would I just ride around listening to Bone? No. Will I
Are
play
you
them
more
every
so
once in a
into
while?
the traditional East Coast style more
Yes.
so than the West Coast style?
That's the thing, because I am a hardcore hip hop, like East Coast hip hop.
Boom bap.
Boom bap. And it's like, why are they sounding like what? I mean, I get it. Easy was, their guy, and their, I get that. But I'm like, we're so much closer to East Coast. Why aren't we Mid-East instead of Midwest? But I know
Right.
why we're Midwest, because obviously, back in the day. But it's just like why don't we sound more like New York? Why are we sounding more like LA? So that's probably the reason I was kind of like, But I definitely have well, once again, Eazy-E was my first record I bought, which is ironic to that. But it's just like the music that I didn't really appreciate back then, I appreciate a lot more now, because, and I saw Mike put in the chat asking about rappers that I would not play today. There's a lot I would not play, but there's still some great artists that are making music now that I would play. I love Fonte. Like Fonte is easily and when I say GOAT list, people are thinking like, oh, top 5, top 3, top 10. That's just, I can't do that. But he's on my GOAT list. Rhapsody, she's on my GOAT list. So there's artists out there that are dope. How it compares to today, it feels somewhat disjointed and lost, because when we say hip hop, you can't say hip hop without all 4 elements. And it's like, is that group, is that person really involved in hip hop and doing those 4 elements? Are they really part of hip hop? Can they say I am hip hop? I can say I am hip hop because I've done and still continue to do the 4 elements. Some better than the others, but it's just that's how I feel. Nowadays it's just more rap, and which is only one part of hip hop. So that's where it's so comparing it to today, it's definitely different. And if I had to grow up now, I think I would have missed out on a lot. Like for example, like my kids, especially my oldest son, so I'll pick on him. My oldest son Caleb, like I've never seen him really. I mean, I've seen him dance, but I haven't really seen him like dance. I haven't seen him draw anything. That I don't. It's just like he listens to trap music, he listens to rap music, but are you hip hop? No, I don't think he's hip hop. So yeah, it's a lot different, and I'm glad I grew up when I did grow up, because I would have missed out on a lot of stuff that foundation. It just, I think I grew up at the perfect time. Like the 80s is the best decade of all time.
You say the 80s are the best decade of all time?
Yes, it is the best decade.
Musical?
It was so eclectic. Everything. It was so eclectic. Especially musical, because you had, this is the reason why, because I think now music is more segregated, because, I listen to trap music, I listen to this music, I listen to that music, and that's all you listen to for most people.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Back in the 80s, you were forced to listen to other things because, one, MTV, for example, wasn't playing black artists. You have David Bowie basically blasting MTV saying, why are you not playing Prince? Why are you not playing Michael Jackson? Why are you playing great artists? And they're trying to make an excuse why not, but it's like, no, you need to play these artists. Just because they're black doesn't mean, they're great, just as great as the white artists are. And so I would sit there and watch, the local video station, and have to sit through a Van Halen, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Huey Lewis, whatever, to finally see a Michael Jackson video or see a Run DMC video. And that made me learn about Aerosmith, Van Halen, and appreciate other artists, Aha. It's just like it was just so much out there that it's like you had to absorb it all. And I think that made people more musical, or more musical, have more musical knowledge just from collateral, videos playing or songs playing. So I think that's why for me the 80s was the best, because it just had so much. It was such a alphabet vegetable soup of culture that was out there. You had the punk scene. It just had so much out there that was just that you had to hear and take in. So
if you think about that, I think that it would be comparable to the transition into streaming, because I say that, with the MTV generation, that fueled pop culture, right? And fueled and put exposure ultimately on hip hop, and helped make hip hop actually what it is today, and incorporated in every single fabric of society globally, right? But with MTV and videos and BET, video jukebox, all of these different things that there were, and even the public access stations that had their own video shows.
Right.
That changed. That changed music. That changed pop culture, and it also really fueled creativity because there was a lack of music videos. So for the most part, a lot of crazy, wild stuff that wouldn't necessarily have gotten curated and put on, got put on. Simple fact that there was a lack of music videos, so they just were putting anything and everything on.
Yeah, right.
And then that started shaping that, like people were like, okay, you know what I mean? And helping to shape that ear, right? And I think of how I look at it is like this. I think of the 80s like the 60s in regards to the transition and that shine and sheen, and going into the 70s, which ended up going more counterculture because you could see it towards the end of the 60s, just like at the end of the 80s. And then the 90s or the 70s.
Okay.
And are viewed like the 70s, in my opinion. The way that I viewed, like, I look back and be like, I'm so happy that I'm here and around with hip hop, but also being jazz, funk, soul, growing up listening to, like, man, what it would have been like to be at some of these concerts at that age too, right? You know,
right.
So I just look at it like, especially when I look at the kids nowadays, they hold the 90s right now and have held. If you look at the fashion they're wearing, the shoe, everything, it's all 90s. The baggy clothes is back, like everything is 90s again. It's funny. It's like, y'all are wearing my stuff. Like, let me pull out my stuff from the closet.
Yeah.
See this?
So, this is what this. Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
And I want to put I could pin a year for the 80s. I really can't pin a year for the 90s. But if you, and going back to hip hop, I would say, I don't want to say 80s hip hop because let's take 2 years, 88 or 95. I'm just right in the middle of the 90s. What do you think was a better year of hip hop, 88 or 95?
Better or more?
And let me ask the chat as well. Put in the chat as well. What do you guys think, 88 or 95? What will be your favorite year of hip hop or best year?
So Jonah's saying 88. So it's hard because 95, think about everything that came out in 95. So I know everything that came out in 88 too. I mean, we had the Public Enemy album, you had NWA coming out, you had Even Two Live Crew, you had Too Short, you had BDP. That was the second album of BDP, right? Or no, what was the thing that came out?
You had Criminal Minded, and you had
because Criminal Minded was 87.
87, and then the one with where he's on the cover looking out the window. What is that?
Yeah, right.
That was Criminal Minded. No, that was Criminal Minded.
No, Criminal Minded is the one with Scott LaRock.
Scott.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary.
Looking out the window, right?
Yeah.
And then 3 Feet High and Rising.
Yeah.
95. I want you to think about the Outkast albums that came out, the Pac albums that came out. You are in the heyday of the G-Funk era. You're also, like, I know for you as a East Coast artist, I mean, you got Wu. Wu is in charge. You got Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? It's very difficult because I am OCD, and I'm Rain Man, so straight up, I figured out straight up over these years, I'm on the spectrum now. If I wasn't before, I know I am, and I'm not even being straight up, but because of that's what I just got flooded with dates and all of these albums, so it's so difficult, right? What I will answer to you is this. For me personally, right, if it wasn't for 86, 87, 88, but even before that, let me take you back. Yes, everybody heard Rapper's Delight of hip hop. And then also, of course, Blondie, Rapture. Yes. The song that smacked me in the middle of the face. And of course, all of Curtis Blow, all of everybody, right? But the thing that punched me in the face was the message. And the message took over everything for me. And when I saw the video, I heard the sound, I heard the message and what they were talking about, and it wasn't even like this happy party stuff. I mean, it was. And then fast forward to 86, you gave me the first sightings of BDP. You gave me Rakim. You gave me all of that, right? So, and even Two Live Crew, because I'm ratchet back then. I was a hood rat. Like this is on one. Like I was in puberty, and like you gave me Two Live Crew and Too Short and stuff. Come on, man. Like anyway, but so if it wasn't for that year 88, I don't know if we would have gotten 95. So I mean, 88 is the foundation, but 95, 96, even 94, I'd say I always ask the people, like, what would you say? And then what is your answer?
My answer would be 88 because it was, to me, it was a bigger jump. Like, yeah, you did have, the beginnings of BDP, the beginnings of, Rakim. They, we heard Shantae. It was, you had good artists, or eventually would be great artists, but they were still kind of like feeling like, okay, how am I supposed to sound? How was, Marley trying to make beat, like what sound was he trying to, accomplish on, his beat making? It's just that it felt like when 88 hit, it felt like it went from here to here. So that's why I say 88 is better, because when you're in the 90s, we're already here. And I think the slope is still going up, because then, you're going into the Biggies, the Woos, Outkast, and whatnot. But I think the slope,
but you also
isn't
had
isn't
it
as
going down
sharp.
too.
But eventually it started, plateauing and then kind of dipping down as well. But before the dip down, I'm saying it was still rising from like early 90s to 95, but it just wasn't that big jump, because then all of a sudden you had Kane with no half stepping. You had like big mega hits, Biz coming with this stuff. And it's like, to me, that's why I say, because it was another conversation I remember hearing someone else have before a couple of years ago. And I'm like, yeah, 88, I'm an 88 fan. Like, to me, that was a better year than the 90s, only because of that big jump. Because when I look prior to that, not just in the 90s, trust and believe, all those artists that came out in the 90s, well, most of them are phenomenal and made an impact. It's just that it wasn't going from early 90s to mid 90s. It just, that jump wasn't as big to me. Wasn't as shocking. Like, oh my gosh, wow, this is really hip hop. Like, you got the symphony, you got five dope MCs on one record. Like,
Live
what?
At the
Like, this is crazy.
Man, symphony.
It's just like
the native tongues.
Native tongues, and it's like, you got crews like
Black Sheep.
Holy crap! And then it just that explosion in that 88 to
Q-tip.
90, 89, 87 to 89.
Yeah.
It was just a bigger explosion. It was like more of a harder gut punch than it was when you got to the 90s, because it was like, okay, now we know we can do with these machines. We know what lyrically we can do. Now we're polishing it. It's like, just keep it going. But then, things started falling off, and money and more money, and basically money came into play, because it was done for the love. Like, I just remember back when, and I love the internet. We need the internet. But for me, the internet really, to me, hurt music, because you had 2 release dates. You had the spring and the fall. And you knew that, okay, people are dropping in that spring or they're dropping in the fall. And you waited for that. And that album dropped, and it better be hot, because you're playing that the whole entire year, or you weren't playing that at all. So I think people put more into the albums then, because they knew that, hey, if they don't play it past March, we're done. So we got to make sure we put some bangers and some heat on this. Now it's like I could legit, while I'm talking to you, could probably be making a beat, put it on the internet, get a few downloads, and then now do another one. It's basically it's almost more disposable now.
It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah, it just now you don't have that, like, the anticipation.
Yep.
And
no more Tuesdays.
No more Tuesdays. And honestly, it and as great of, and I will salute him for being an entrepreneur. When No Limit came out, I think that really kind of hurt things, because like they were putting out albums like every other Tuesday, like you had a new album from the same group like 3 times in a month. It's like, wait a minute, how you putting so much music out? It's like, slow down. Like let me digest what's on one first before we get to
No
this
Limit.
other one. Yeah, like but his business savvy was off the charts. Like I cannot diss him for that. Like he is a phenomenal businessman, Master P. Because I'm like, dude, like out the trunk and then turning that into the conglomerate that he did. Like, yeah, salute to Master P. That's
Beats by the pound, baby.
Beats by the pound.
He was slinging them. I got these
like,
dope CDs and tapes.
But I wasn't ready for that. I'm like, no, slow down. Like, can I let this marinate over the summer? But then now everyone figured like, well, if he can do that, and now you got computers, like crap, I can do this at home and drop it, and it just to me it just felt like it just kind of, that's where really things started dipping, was then when you start getting out of technology, and now you can make a beat or album or whatever and put it out there, and it doesn't do it, do another one 3 days later, so it's just that's the only part I don't like.
I got you. Let's because I want to be respectful for your time, and
Dude, we can do this all night.
Because I know I will. Like, listen, I'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I will. Like, that's me. But I know you're on the East Coast too. I'm just trying to be respectful.
Right.
And I wanna ask you to please, again, while we have the folks in the room, let everybody know again about Beats for a Cure and overall why you started it, how it started, what you've gone through, like, because I know I'm asking, this is a multi-part, because I want you to go through the entire story, because you have such I mean, it's so impressive how well you put together and plan out, and the kits that you put, and how hard it is to schedule just a 1-day raid, let alone a week, and then even like you got plans. Listen, dude, like, please, by all means, the stage is yours. Please tell everybody, the one person in the room that doesn't know about Beats for a Cure, please let them know, because it's important.
So before there was Beats for a Cure, basically how all this started, the focus on it started, was because of my mom. So when my oldest son was born, and his birthday's coming up April 27th.
Happy birthday.
April 27th, 2001 was, in my memory, the only day I've ever had tears of joy and tears of sadness within like hours of each other. I'm a brand new dad. I'm bawling my eyes out like, oh my gosh, we made a human being. This is amazing. Now we got to take care of him. Like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? And then my mom came in and, loved on him and pulled me aside and was like, I haven't told you this yet, but I had to get some tests done, and I have breast cancer. And I bawled my eyes out thinking that, oh my gosh, my mom's about to drop dead right here in front of me. And I just, I was a mess that day. My emotions were all over the place. And so I said, you know what? Let me look into this, because I never really looked into breast cancer. I wasn't really paying attention to that because I didn't have anyone that I knew. I probably did know, but just it never affected me to that level, because that's my mom. And it's basically just me and her. That's how I always looked at things. It was always us two together, Bonnie and Clyde for the most part. And so I was like, well, I'm DJing now. I've been DJing for a while. Like, let me DJ something. Next time I'm at the club, I'll say, hey, we're going to collect donations for breast cancer, da-da-da. And I put a bucket out and be, $200 in there. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I would donate that to, local charities and something like that. And I would do something every single year, just, and just, honor her. Like, I'm doing this for you, Mom. I'm supporting you. I'm in this fight with you. And she lost her fight. She was promoted in 2010. And, but she gave us a blessing because I had two boys at that point in time. They're 2 years apart. And at that point, we were done having kids. We're going to have any more kids. And before she passed, she said, you're going to have a daughter. And we're like, no, we're not. And then like 3 months after she passed, found out my wife was pregnant with a girl. We're like, holy crap. Mom blessed us with a baby before she left. So I was like, all right, I got to continue this tradition in her honor. So every year, every October, I would do something in her name. Fast forward to 2020, which, the pandemic happened, everything shuts down. Now I'm like, okay, I can't go out and do anything. I can't, do whatever because everything's shut down. And then Relly Rail put me onto Twitch, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I go on, I'm like, all right, this community's pretty cool, all right. And then I saw DJ Easy P, who now goes by, what does he go by now? He changed his name. But I always call him Easy P. He did a 24-hour stream for leukemia. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Mike Temple, that's what he goes by, Mike Temple now. So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream, but I can't do 24 hours because I have a job and family and other responsibilities. But I'll do, like 4 hours and raise $200-$300, and that'll be it. And I mentioned it to, thank you, Jay Jones. I mentioned it to Selecta from Pittsburgh. Like, yeah, I'm doing this thing, and basically in passing, just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, raise some money for breast cancer. Whatnot. He's like, really, when? And I was like, on XYZ weekend.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, I'll spend with you. How about this? How about either you rate into me or I'll rate into you? We'll figure it out. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then I mentioned it again to another DJ, once again, just in passing. And he was like, oh, I'm down. Like, I'll spend with you guys. He ended up having to drop off, but he ended up giving me another DJ's name, DJ Ageless, who's up in Canada, I think in Toronto. And I was like, all right, well, I got two other DJs. Let's see how many more DJs we can go, see if we can at least fill up the whole day, So I picked up a few other DJs, and then next thing you know, I was pretty much done. And then this other guy, DJ Fox, who was actually the guy who did the raffle for the mixer that I won. He's in Arizona.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. So he's out in Arizona. He was like, dude, I heard you're doing this Ray Train for breast cancer. Can I get on? I'm like, dude, this thing is like 2 weeks away or a week away, whatever it was. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm like, at this point, now we're looking at internet like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see if we can just go the whole entire weekend. So my mod at the time, Miss Vale, she knew some DJs over in the UK, and which at that point in time, Mike Temple was like the only person overseas that I knew that I was interacting with. So she gave me a list of a few other DJs, and one was actually I think she was 16 at the time, who's now phenomenal. Like, she runs stuff in UK. Like, she's a massive DJ right now. And so now I had the whole weekend locked down. I have the poster on my wall over here. I may grab it before we go. But when I looked at the list of the DJs I had on that first year, DJ Vader, crazy DJ.
Vader mix from Cincinnati, Ohio.
From Cincinnati. LV from Atlanta.
Yes.
Miss Her. Classics. Mike Temple. Who else was on there? I'm trying to picture the Relly Rel and Kelly Vision.
Relly Rel, yes. Kelly Vision.
gosh, it's like I had this one guy from New Zealand on there. He's not on Twitch anymore, and we ran the whole entire weekend, and we ended up raising like $22,000 that weekend, and I was like, holy crap! Chaotic was on there. Chaotic Champs was on there. I'm like,
Chaotic.
like these are DJs that
What
are
year
like
was that?
2020, October 2020. I think I was only on Twitch I started in April, so from April to October.
Yeah.
No, it was April 2020, and then October 20. It's like, so I'm like, how did I get these high profile DJs, and they don't even know who I am, to be on this raid train? I'm like, this is amazing, and I'm like, man, this community is for real. Like, they really do support. So I'm like, all right, let's see what we can do next year. And next year that's when I decided to go for a week. And we went from 20 some DJs to like almost 80. And we ended up raising 30 something, like $35,000, something like that second year. And then it just kept taking off. So that, and each year I try to get, some of the, people that were on it before, and then, add new people in, kind of swap people around. And right now we're going to be on year 6 coming up, and it's just been amazing. I'm sorry, year 7 coming up, because year 6 was last October. And, but it's like it just keeps building and building and building. And so we had our first live event 2 years ago on our 5th anniversary. And we had at 12 DJs for 12 hours here in Cleveland. So I brought up Kev G, Classics, Champ Lifestyle, Rail was DJing, I Spun, LV was there, Ebony ATL, and just had a whole lineup of DJs that spun, and we raised money. And then last year I was like, okay, let's see if we can up the ante so we can get like a special guest. And that's why I was trying to push for Jeff. So we are trying to get, Jeff involved in this. And that's how I ran across Mixmaster Ice. So I told Ice, I was like, I went to go see or meet with Jeff, but I was meant to see you and meet with you.
Yeah,
he was
man.
Like, dude, he was like, man, I'm like, the interventionist is crazy. So he came and just helped elevate the level. At the same time, shout out to Lisa, my mod, and the whiteboard of her mind. She has a beautiful whiteboard in her mind, just scribbling stuff all over it. She was like, well, how about we do a dual event in Cleveland and in Atlanta? And I'm like, okay, if like you're gonna handle Atlanta, because I can't be in 2 cities at one time. She's like, I got you. I'm like, all right. And so we had LV, Ebony ATL, K-Lock, and then there's one other DJ, I can't remember his name. He opened, and then Legacy, who's one of the guys who runs this club or this party that's down in Atlanta. And so they turned their normal party they have, and I think, was it Lisa, once a month, into, for that particular month, for October, a breast cancer, day party. So we had Atlanta and Cleveland going on at the exact same time. And, we had on 2 different streams here on Twitch. We had Beats for Cure 1, Beats for Cure 2. And I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe we're doing this in multiple cities right now. Like, okay, where we're going to go now next year? So this year, which is still in the wraps because we're still kind of putting things together, but we're trying to get to the next level as far as quality for Beats, and once again to raise more funds for Beats. But in that process, in 2024, we decided to go make the Raid Train, Beats for a Cure, which is basically that was just the name of the Raid Train, was Beats for a Cure, into a nonprofit organization. So we filled out the paperwork, and now we're 501c3, and we are an official nonprofit organization. And I'm like, if you had told me that I would be the founder and CEO of a nonprofit 5 years ago, I'd be like, or even 3 years ago, I'd be like, nah, no way. I'm not that guy. But here we are. And then in that process, we've done a 5K for childhood cancer. And we're about to have our second one in August 29th at the Cleveland Zoo. That turned out phenomenal. We had like 250 runners come out. This year, we're hoping to at least get about 400. And because a lot of people that were there last year were like, this is amazing, we want to come back. Actually, I had 2 runners sign up for the live event thinking it was a 5K. I'm like, nah, it's a live event. If you want to come out and hang out with us to kick it, you're more than welcome, but it's not a 5K. And they're like, all right, well, let me know when the next 5K is. I'm like, I'll let you know. It's probably gonna be in August because that's I think that's Childhood Cancer Month, I believe. So it's gonna be in August, and so we're gonna have that again. We're looking at doing some events for prostate cancer. One of the hospitals asking, do we do a lung cancer event? I'm like, we don't, but we can.
I would love to partner with you to do a kidney cancer, because kidney cancer is my birth month, and
which is
March. So and it is, the colors are orange and black. So like this is like my logo and design for the rip. Come on, man! I don't know how to use a camera. But anyway, check it out, man. I would love to be able to do something and like at least have your guidance in getting something together for kidney cancer awareness, because again,
and that's the thing, we're looking for other ways to raise awareness, raise funds for, and once again, Beats for Cure basically is for cancer. So obviously I got the support through you, so absolutely we can definitely talk about that and make something happen. So
let's do it.
And where are you at? Where are you at now again?
So right now I'm in Denver.
Denver, okay.
Yes, sir. Originally from Cincinnati. Yes.
So now we can expand more west.
And there are tremendous facilities out here in regards to one of the places that I go to get the majority of my treatments and everything like that. They're extremely advanced, and even the children facilities out here, they're amazing. And it would be, a good partnership opportunity, and they're always looking for, Anthropic and those types of
there we go.
So
Lisa, put that on your whiteboard, please.
Mental whiteboard, Miss Lisa, please.
That we need to hook up with Ghost Boogie on the event for March.
Man. But no, I mean, salute to you. I gotta give you, like, seriously, because what you did, I mean, it is such a tremendous thing to see and be a part of in the background, just how organized, how well you communicate, and like you make it so simple for a DJ to be a part of and actually like break it down, like, all right, guys, even with the ticker, right? And here, if you don't know how to do a web source and you don't know how to capture it, no, by the way, this code's messed up, so here's the addition, here's your specific line of code to paste, just so you don't have to mess it up. Just go here, done. And it was like just someone that was like, are you asking me to do stuff that I didn't know how to do at that point, but like because of through you making me do, I was like, oh, that's what this does? What? But at that point, it was like, you are very, very well organized, and like,
thank you.
Hats off, fam. Like it's just such a, like, if anybody, please support beatsforacure.org, go there.
Yes.
Check it out. Yes. Spread the word, even if you don't have $1 to give, a cent to give right now, because I understand times are buck wild, but even if you spread the word out, post it on your social medias, all of that, because it might get in front of someone that can't.
Right. That's equally as important, because
it is just as important. Like this just is
right.
Even more important.
Because if you have the funds, that's great. But then by you putting it out there, now, we're not getting a donation just from one person. Now we may get a donation from 20 people because you posted it somewhere and someone like, hey, this sounds pretty cool. I'll help out with that. It's just one of those things where like I really push for people to, please donate, yes, but please put on your socials. Even if you've already donated, just put it out there, because you never know who's going to see that and then end up making a connection where you like, hey, you know what? But for example, kidney cancer, it might be something with that. It's just one of those things where awareness is so important. So please, if you can't donate, please donate. But if you can't, please post it. Please let people know about it. Absolutely. beatsforacure.org.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And salute to you, family, man. I want to thank you so much for, again, I can't say it enough that, you are someone that gave me an opportunity early on. We said that early on in the show, but that has always meant a tremendous amount to me. And anyone that I've been or had the opportunity to connect with, and especially all my Ohio brethren that are the Ohio DJs that are in the house. I can't wait for the day that my circumstances, and I'm planning for maybe next year to make it will manifest it to happen, to be able to meet up with all you guys. But
Right.
like, seriously, you guys have been a really, really, really big battery in my back and have been a big supporter. And I appreciate the opportunity because, just being able to observe how you guys get down and, this is how he's conducting the stream and all of that stuff, and listening to mixes and getting back into DJing after
Right.
a serious amount of time with no hands, like no feeling and all of that. Like, look, no hands, like all of this stuff, and then still having the balls to get out there and do it. It's because I saw, just like you said early on, when you were learning how, and you started watching the videos of how people were scratching and doing it. And like, I was like, and shout out to Dig'em Smack and everybody all of the DJ J Jonah, who we've already interviewed. Check out that episode. Like, everybody that's in the chat, much love to all of you guys, but you guys have been an inspiration. I broke down what you did, and thank you for everything. And that's the reason why I wanted you to be on here, and it meant so much to me because of everything that you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it goes the same way, because I learned so much from Twitch. Because once again, remember, I was out of the game for 10 years. So I learned so much about technology. I learned about music. Like, when I got done, it was like, okay, you got remixes, and now it's an edits. I'm like, what's an edit? Like, what's Bandcamp? I've never heard that before. What is that? It's like, I learned so much from the DJs. And I'm like, and it's like, I'm watching, and my wife was like, dude, get off of Twitch. I'm like, I gotta be on here because I am hearing music because that's the thing. That's what I loved about Twitch, is that you could play whatever you wanted to play. And you didn't have to play the top 40 songs. You didn't have to play the bangers. You could play, in case of Stove, like, you could play jazz music and it'd be dope. You could play, classical. I've done classical stream. When I made Partner, I said, when I make Partner, my next stream after that, I'm playing all classical music. And
That's
I play all
dope.
classical music because I love classical music. Hip hop and classical are like this with me. I used to play violin and string bass in orchestra.
So someone asked about the violin on the wall. So you actually can play violin.
Whoa.
My bad. I don't mean to offend you.
I used to. No, I used to.
Oh, okay. All right. You're like, whoa. I was like, hold on. Did I just?
No.
Like, how dare you say I did?
Because if I pull that out and start playing, it's going to be like,
Hey, man, that might be funky. Like, that might be the new you.
My new thing. I start off on the piano, and then I play the violin, then I play string bass. The last time I played the string bass was first or second year in college, and I'm 53, so it's like, it's been a while since I played any of that stuff. This beautiful violin. Hold on a second. I gotta show this off.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to my mod, Lisa the X.
Wow.
So
Look at that.
I went down to Atlanta for K-Lock's family reunion, and she surprised me with this. So this right here actually has on here. I should have turned my other camera on, but it's a picture of my mom here.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing chess, and one of my drops is the Denzel Washington. It's chess, not checkers. So she has a chess. Thank you. Chess piece up on here, pink ribbon. Beats for Cure original logo there. A picture of my mom and I right there, and then on the back, Beats for Cure as the original live, the DJs that were there for the live event and stickers. And she painted pink, and I believe her son created this, or this was her son's violin, and she painted it and decorated it out, and I was like, oh my gosh! And of course, I cried like a baby when she gave this to me. So
shout out to Lisa,
you,
man.
Lisa. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, she takes care of me. She also
Shout
takes care of the dad jokes as well.
Oh, that's dope.
She takes care of the dad jokes as well. So
right on.
But yeah, I used to could play, but yeah, if I start right now, it would be a while. And I know we're going to wrap things up a little bit, but a couple of things I do want to mention since we're talking about Lisa.
I have all the time that you have.
Okay.
I'm being
right.
I want to, because I know it's late for you, but listen, bro, I'm here for you, bro.
I'll still be up at this point. Real quick, Jeff, I actually make these. I make these posters. So I have Dilla.
I was going to ask you about that. You make those posters yourself?
Yeah, I'm a web and graphic designer. So yeah, I
nice.
Take a picture and then Dilla, and then
that's beautiful.
Behind me, I think that's Most Def back there. So I have them all around here, and I have quite a few. I don't think I'm. You can go to beatsforcure.org. I don't think I have them on the website. I did have them on the website at one point in time, but I think I took them off. But anywho, shout out to Lisa. She's doing a fundraiser as well for autism. One of her kids has autism, and it's called Spinning Autism. I'm not sure if she can put the link in the chat. I know some you can or cannot, but I don't know if there's if a mod that she can send it to.
Well, you know what we can do is we can just Night Lisa. Is it Lisa the X, or are we talking about Lisa X?
X, yeah.
Gotcha. Boom.
And
bam, there you go.
All right, Lisa, put the link in the chat. And so we're doing a fundraiser for autism awareness this Saturday, but you can donate now. So she's going to put the link up there. Please, please, please donate. Support her.
Yes.
Like I said, she supports me in a lot of great things, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart because it matters to her. It matters to me. So please support her and donate to Spinning Autism. Also, too, big up to my other mod, C Love. She also does merchandise, clovecreations.com. While you're putting links in the chat, Lisa, put hers in there as well.
Yes.
That's my other mod. She you can get merch. She does shirts, hoodies, and everything like that. So please, please, please support my other mod, C Love 702. And then the Ohio Meetup, OMU. I keep talking about OMU. I've kind of peppered that in my conversation tonight. The Ohio Meetup is actually it started. This is our 5th year. And once things open back up, we decided to have a meetup where you can come and hang out with us. And we've been doing it for 5 years. It's like a big giant family reunion. It's amazing. So go to ohiomeetup.com. I think we may have like 10 tickets left, so we're pretty much sold out.
Nice.
But if you want to come, it's going to be in Cincinnati, which Ghost gotta
Hold on, hold on. It's like that, y'all.
So the link's in the chat. Thank you. Please hit those links. Hit those links up. But yeah, this will be our 2nd year in Cincinnati for the Ohio Meetup down in the land of DJ Vader. And then I think we might either be back down there again the next year or back up in Cleveland in 27. We're not sure yet. We haven't talked about that yet. But it's a great time. Like we have, you'll see the itinerary on the website. We have a sneaker ball. We give out awards. We have games. It's a big giant family reunion for a week. So check that out, ohiomeetup.com. But
it's a bunch of great people too, man. Like it's just a bunch of people getting together, telling stories and having a good time and being there. And you know, when people are there and everybody has respect for each other, and there's, you know, a sense of decorum and expectation and standards to the event, that you know that everybody's going to have a good time, and and that's what it is. And
we don't allow any
amazing.
foolishness.
Yeah,
We say leave all the drama at home, come and have fun, and
no boof.
no, yeah, exactly. And the DJs that come out, like we have ciphers, and it's just it's so fun. Like for me as a DJ, I love DJs, so I'm a fan of the DJs. So I love just watching them spin. Last year we had one of her name is Hops Who here on Twitch. She came up to me. She said, "No, someone came up to me and said, would you mind if Hops spun?" You know, right? Like, because like nothing was really going on. There might have been like 10 people in the room at that point in time. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Does she DJ? Like, I didn't know she DJ. She's like, well, she's starting off. I'm like, all right. So she goes up there, and I'm like, Hops, whatever you need, let me know. That, you know, I'm getting her set up, and she's like, I'm nervous. I'm like, no, you're fine. Just do your thing. And she dropped her first song, and I'm like, okay, that's a good song. And then I'm like, okay, here comes the blend. Here comes the mix. And I'm like, gonna see if she hits it. And she nailed it clean. And I'm like, and I lost my mind. I'm like, I'm a fan. And I got on the thing. It was like, if you're not in the room right now, get down here now. And then people start coming down. They're like, and it was just amazing. So it's a lot of great things that happened at OMU. And like I said, that was her first time ever DJing. You know,
Wow.
You know, she was practicing, but that was her first time ever DJing in front of people. And so stuff like that happens at OMU. DJ Prodigy, I know he was in the chat earlier. He DJed on vinyl for the first time. And, you know, he was a controller DJ, and he's like, dude, this is what we got. You got to spin on it. And he learned how to do that. So it's like just little things.
He told us about that when we had our interview here.
Did it? Okay. That's like, little things like that happen that are life-changing for some people. And for me, I just love it. It's like, yes, it's, you know, I love the DJ culture. So, but yeah, if you can, come to the Ohio meetup if there's any more tickets left. So if you come in, get your tickets now.
Get those last 10.
Yeah.
And it'll be on the river downtown in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's very pretty down there.
It Cincinnati is
gorgeous.
Like, yeah, you know, it's just like,
it's just humid.
Listen, I'll take
That's why
that
I
over. Left. Listen, I'll take that over a snow, or heck, we had hailstones the size of golf balls yesterday. So lucky it didn't hit my city or my house, but it was like another town, next town over, and it was crazy. But I'll definitely take the humidity over the crazy weather we have, the lake effect we have up here. So, but Cincinnati downtown is beautiful. The Music Walk of Fame and. Your downtown's nice, and all the
Underground Railroad Museum, the Underground Museum Center, all of it.
We're thought about probably going this year. I'm not sure. I don't think we're gonna go this year. We're probably gonna go next year if we have it back down there again. But all the murals that are on all the buildings, like that,
and those are historic murals. Those have been there forever.
Yeah,
you know the one place that I would say that would be a live place to have an event is the place that the Hall of Justice was based on and used, which is called the Museum Center, but it's in the old train station called Union Terminal, and that in there they rent it out. They have banquet rooms, and also that are all 100% like still period specific wood. And it's gorgeous, all Art Deco, and the murals that are all tile that's in there, and it's the history that you go in there, and then the different museums that are a part of that. But to be able to rent out a ball, I've DJ'd a couple of spots times down there, and through functions through my work gatherings down there, and it's an amazing spot to have.
Yeah, he took us by to look at it, and he mentioned, I'm like, because I was like,
you gotta go in there. You gotta
go in there. Yeah,
go in.
Yeah. Now we're going to back down there. I have to prod him like, hey, can we break away or something either before or
Kings Island too?
Go down there.
You're down there. Kings Island is a dope. I mean, you guys have amazing. I mean, you have Cedar Point.
Cedar Point's the GOAT, but Kings Island is actually
Kings
really nice.
Island is like GOAT 2.0 underneath
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and you got the beach across the street, and yeah. So you guys,
that's gone though. That's out. That's been.
The beach is gone.
This closed. Like
I
water
didn't
parks.
know that.
Yeah, because Kings Island once Kings Island put their own water park in, the beach lasted maybe about 5 to 7 years after that. And it was a wrap. It was done.
Wow. Yeah.
People got hurt. Someone got sued and done.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So you guys got to listen. They got the Eiffel Tower at Kings Island. So I mean,
yes,
like you know, that's just amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, man. But yo, bro, like everything that you have your hands in and everything that you do, much love and salute to you, and salute to all the DJs that are out there, because this is what we're doing. I'd like to have an opportunity to give you guys a heads up, because this is my second episode of B-Boys Underground this week. We're doing another one tomorrow. And basically tomorrow we've got an artist by the name of Old Solomon. And Old Solomon is a Miami-based hip-hop artist and a graffiti writer. His music bridges street history, underground rap, sharp bar work. He's got releases like New Nostalgia, Where It Started, Nostalgic, and The Manuscript. Basically, it's going to be a really dope interview. If you like underground hip-hop, this is for the underground hip-hop lovers, the folks that are in the room. And then
yes, indeed,
Tuesday, I've got New Zealand in the house. We've got the one and only, if you want to talk about hip-hop culture and being global, well, New Zealand has an amazing dope hip-hop scene. And don't take the break dancers that you saw against and hold that against the hip-hop culture and scene down there, because it is serious and it is no joke. And we got the one and only Ja Kellen, super dope, ill MC out of New Zealand. I'm looking forward to having that one. And then we've got another episode on Wednesday with King Solomon, and I'm in the talks of booking another one for Thursday. So B-Boys Underground nonstop, and then our other podcast that I'm associated with my brethrens with, the You Might Know Us podcast, will be back on Monday. Check that out. That's where Boogie behaves badly, and we just talk, we talk. We grab your favorite plant, grab your favorite liquid. I don't care if it's a fern, that tree outside, grab a branch, bring it inside, hug it. I drink water. I haven't drank since 2017, but either way, we're here for fun, and it's just like your friends getting together talking ish. But yeah, I love you. I appreciate you, man.
Can I give you your flowers real quick, because you're doing a lot right now with this podcast, and
man,
I appreciate you. A lot of people appreciate you doing this. So, and you're growing, man. You're moving. So salute to you. But put the clap effects for you. Throw that in.
I don't like doing that, but all right.
That's for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, fam. I mean, we've got, we've got so much more on the horizon. I want to give a big shout out to the folks that are helping making this podcast possible. It's my brother, Black North, and DJ Todd D. Blaze. He has a show every Wednesday morning, noon Eastern. And yes, I said it wrong, Jeff, because they laugh at me because I say Eastern or Eastern, Eastern. But in Ohio, that's how we talk, and I'm Ohio AF. So that's my catchphrase. But I forget where the hell I was going. But either way, we've got a lot working out and coming. So please stay tuned. And I can't thank you guys enough. And more DJs, I'm going to be signing up. And if you're a DJ and you want to get on and talk some stories, I'd be more than happy to have anybody on that's a DJ, because DJs make the world go round. And that's all there is to it, man. You got any shout outs before we get up out of here, family?
Of course, once again, shout out to Lisa. She put your YouTube link in there. So everyone, please make sure you follow and subscribe on Ghost Boogie's YouTube, Big Boys Underground YouTube channel. Do that right now. Also, C Love 702, my show wouldn't be crap without them. I love them to death, and I truly appreciate their energy and everything they do for me, because yeah, I just spin and kind of just, that's all I do, but they make the show the show. Big up to all the DJs, everyone who came out to listen to the podcast and hang out with us this evening. And once again, please support Beats for a Cure, support Spinning Autism, support OMU, and of course, obviously support Ghost Boogie. I appreciate you all, so thank you so much, Ghost, for having me on. I love talking about music and hip hop and DJing. It's just, music is life for me. I have a thing a channel point on my thing, and it's called Music Over Everything. It's just like, music is just life for me. I love music, so I love talking music. So thanks for having me on. I truly
hope
appreciate you.
Come back anytime, because we could do this, because look,
let me know.
Music is what saved my life. If it wasn't for my wife and kids, I would have been up out of here. But when I hit rock bottom, and we still on a rocky cliff, but we went back to the source, and the source was music, and that was the thing that, since a baby, Earth, Wind, and Fire was the one thing that would put me to sleep and knock me out, especially as my mom says, I was a difficult child. So Dennis the Menace, whatever you might call it, and if I was full of some Pepsi, some sugar water, or whatever the hell it was, I was on one. So look, man, keep positive, keep pushing, keep persevering, stay in the present, not in the past, because guess what? The only thing that's in the past are things for you to learn from, but not for you to judge yourself and kick your own ass. So give yourself some grace, forgive yourself, and forgive others. And if you can get over that, that'll help you enjoy your present. But also, listen, I got close to $1 million in medical bills. So if you know the future and you're tripping on the future and you know the future, please give me the Powerball, Mega Millions numbers. I will split the money with you. We'll get rich up in here. We'll get rich. And then I'm done, But if you don't know that, then stop tripping on the future, because guess what? I've died twice, and I'd be out of here just like that, and you don't even know. You just don't know. And all of that worry, that stress that you were, it doesn't even matter. So right now, right here is all you got. That's all you can control. Be positive and be kind to each other. That's all. Much love. B-Boys Underground, we out, y'all. Peace.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, follow. From my city to your world, we are City World.